Hello. Hello, welcome back to Heavyweight Gaming. It is Friday, it is 8 o'clock almost, and we are here to throw some dice and play some games. You may notice we are missing someone from our Friday game, and we've gained someone. We are going to be running a little bit different tonight. We are going to be running a 3-part one-shot that's going to be fortnightly over the next few Fridays. That's going to be in between our usual Rime of the Frost Maiden game. Just so we've got a bit of difference, just so we space things out while people are dealing with lockdown, schedules are clashing, that's the word. So we're just going to keep stuff going, keep games going on a Friday. So today we are going to be playing this first part of a one-shot called Drowned Caverns of the Fish God. It is available to purchase from all good websites where you can get content for D&D. It is written by Aaron Rudell, part of 5th edition fantasy. Really good one shot that we're going to run through over the next few sessions. I've got a few bits and pieces. As always, those who are following us tonight, normal programs and things are going to be cracking on rest of the week, whether it's Carbon, Pathfinder, other D&D shows, they're all on as usual. Pathfinder is on again tomorrow, but for tonight we're going to be doing something a little bit different with some higher level characters where no one minds too much if they get into a scrape. So we're going to have a quick run around the table just so we can introduce people, and then we'll jump straight in. So we've got Neptis, played by Hannah. Give us a wave, Hannah. We've got Omega Ross, played by Tony. Give us a wave. We've got Reva, played by Ree. Rowan, played by Lauren. And I will never get this character's name right ever. Sasha, played by Angie. There's a wave. Cool. So, thank you very much, everyone jumping in. We are playing at level 10. So we're going to see some nicer scaled up things. A few of our players, I believe, it's the first time a few of you have been let loose with such horrific power, responsibility, HP totals. But we'll see how we go. So this is going to be a one-shot adventure set in the wonderful lands of Greyhawk. It's a very aquatic fishing-based kingdom, and Greyhawk is made up of a lot of settlements, smugglers, pirates, fisherfolk, traders, smugglers, that sort of world. And these lovely 5 people are an already experienced adventuring party from a guild called the Rangers of the Sea, which is a mercenary guild that operate across the ports and cities across the Keeling coast. And you guys are pretty close. We've got a colourful collective bunch. They've been on their adventures. This ain't their first rodeo. And they were enjoying a little bit of downtime following some recent smuggling ring of forbidden magical artifacts that they put an end to, and enjoying their time off. Unfortunately, life for adventurer is never quite that easy or that simple, and they were summoned. A letter was delivered to them where you received of a missive from the little mountain village of Drydale, a recently established settlement to the north, or the northeast, easterly direction, where there's been disappearances and oddities surrounding a few of the villages. And you find yourselves taking up the mantle once more, heading out into the wilderness to the northeast and heading towards the town of Drydale. So, it is late afternoon. The sun is shining. The trees are lush. The ground is soft underfoot. The damp forest air kind of encircles around and gives you a nice moment of reflection. It's been a nice afternoon stroll. Moods are high, rations are shared, and the day is a good one. You're probably around an hour to 2 hours left on your journey to where Drydale is. And we're going to do a quick run around the table. If everyone could give me a brief description of what you look like, and we can take it from there. So if we start with Neptis.
I remembered to unmute my mic this time before I started talking.
Good work.
Thank you. It's gonna be a good session. I am playing Neptis Aquantis. She is a water genasi rogue. with a specialty in Arcane Trickster. Very typical blue skin, kind of finned webbed ears sort of thing. This beautiful, like, cross between forest green and emerald green hair. She's always kind of like got that constant like damp feeling and smell to her, which is really gross. But you kind of get used to it after a while. These piercing blue eyes, purple lips and tongue. Oh, looks very crazy. General studded leather, but very piratey in her garb, as that is kind of her background, is fishing, pirating, sailing, that sort of thing. So she knows her way around rope. Take it away.
You're muted, Mr. DM.
Omega Ross.
Hi, I'm Omega Ross, if that's how I pronounce my name. I'm not even sure myself. I drink too much.
It is now.
I am a quite curvy, feminine as they come, turtle ranger. I am an ex-pirate. I've been in a few scraps. I've got my trusty scimitars at my side. I'm a bit dark, wearing pretty much just hot pants and a couple of bandages around my ribs, and my shell. We
Cool
take
pirate.
our homes where we go. I don't have a pirate hat currently. I'm in the market.
Team letting down.
Someone stole my pirate hat.
And Reva?
Reva is a human cleric of the Tempest domain. She is a Mark of the Sentinel human of the subrace. And if you imagine kind of as shield maiden as they come, without, copywriting anything, she's wearing kind of very ornate full plate armor on her thighs, so tassets, and then the full breastplate. She's carrying a shield in one hand and a warhammer in the other. And she has 3 blue stripes down one eye in sort of paint or ink, and she has the side of her head shaved with her brown hair.
Okay, wonderful. And I'll know it's right. Seisha?
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
I'm not muted. Okay, fantastic. Seisha is a half aquatic elf from the region. She is draconic bloodline of the silver dragon, so she's the frosty type. Silver hair, quite darker than the wig bud, and very bright green eyes with like speckles of silver around to match her draconic bloodline. She's more very upbeat character, a little bit happy-go-lucky, kind of takes more after the human side, and she's not very familiar with her mother's aquatic elf side, as they're very kind of closed off and down in the depths below and their own kind of thing. She's not mainly on ships too much, mostly landlocked, specifically because of childhood traumas and everything. She doesn't want to really come near the sea too much, but she'll venture around once in a while. But she's quite young, though, under 100 years old. So she's still a lot to learn. And she is a sorceress.
And last but not least, we have Ruane. Give us a little bit of what you look like.
So Ruane is a tiefling barbarian. General attire, kind of what you'd expect from a barbarian, but less furs. Massive sword. She likes a sword. Red skin with inky black short hair tied back, so it's out the way of her lovely big black horns, and just ready for the stares and the fights that come with being from a far off land in these weird areas. But if you find her in the pub and buy her a pint, she's all right with you.
Sounds like 50% of people I know. Okay, guys. So, as I say, it is a lovely late summer kind of afternoon stroll through. The trees are sparse. It's not quite a forest, but it's kind of tree dappled inward land. You've got rocky mountains to your left, and in the shade of that mountain is what gives the trees and this sort of grasslands its lushness. recent rainfall has got that kind of slightly squishy feel underneath, mixture of damp grass, the occasional puddles and mud. But it is quite nice to be away from that kind of salty, briny air of the ocean. A little bit more fresh inland, and also away from the typical sort of scoundrelly types that you get around the coast in the wonderful world of Greyhawk. So the day is afternoon, the day is young. You are heading down the path. You see, just cresting over one of the hills, a small kind of collection of idyllic sort of stone and wooden houses. It's almost like a ski resort minus the snow. It seems very quaint, very picturesque, and it's kind of just nestled into this natural kind of cove as the mountain kind of curves around, or the mountain starts to curve around and up, and the trees give way to this clearing, and you can kind of spot the settlement in the distance, probably around half an hour, 45 minutes away. Is there anything anyone would like to do between here and arriving at the destination?
I'll be walking around the road and I'll just be looking for interesting little like stones and flowers to pick up and everything that I collect and kind of try to like transmogrify into the other stuff. So you see her just kind of like, whistling, talking to everybody, just up and down once in a while.
Reva's going to stay sort of nearer the back and keep her eyes out as we're walking. She's always on guard. She doesn't relax very often.
You're being watchful if you want to roll as a perception check.
I can do that.
Well, high level, it's more like plus 35 or something obscene, isn't it?
Plus 8.
We'll go back to next week and the numbers will just feel so low.
Yeah.
Plus 12? What is this?
Oh!
Excellent. Starters mean to go on. You think you're in a field, maybe a wood. You're almost sure that's a tree.
It's 9. Like, it wasn't at 1, but it's 9 altogether.
Yeah, you keep a lookout. You can hear kind of exotic birds cawing into the sky, the occasional kind of rustle across branches and things, but nothing catches your eye. It's fairly quiet. Quaint is the word of the day. Okay.
I'm towards the front of the group, just again keeping an eye out, got my hand on my sword just in case, but also thinking about the pub.
Strong.
I will bring
use
up
a
the
meal.
rear. I will be keeping an eye out, but I'm also drinking from my flask.
Why go to the pub when the pub comes with you?
I bring my house.
He's not got enough to keep me going.
Okay, guys.
Neptis
so
is also thinking about pub.
you may start approaching the town. Now, like I say, you're probably looking at maybe a dozen structures at most, all very nicely made. There doesn't seem to be that sign of aging. The wood looks relatively fresh. The stonework looks new and not particularly weathered. It looks like a newer settlement. It hasn't had kind of that time battered appearance. It's very well kept. The path is clean. The shrubland and grasslands and trees seem to have been cut back. You don't know how recent, but it seems to be very well kept. And as you head into town, you do notice that there is a rather nice kind of downward sloping view across kind of the meadowlands and the treelands. Think Peak District. You're probably in the right sort of mind frame and mindset. And like I said, these rolling fields and trees spread out across one side, and then the mountainous kind of rocky side grows on the other. It seems quiet. There are a couple of people kind of pushing a cart and seem to be unloading a cart in the far distance, some goods and things like that. But for the most part, the three main structures that stand out, there appears to be a blacksmith, given away by the large anvil and kind of wooden shelter, where a forge is not actively in use, but you can sort of see a few embers simmering away in the base. And there are an arrangement of hammers and tongs and various blacksmithing implements up against the wall. There appears to be a general store that does look open towards the far left of the village, and there seems to be kind of a central townhouse mixed, sort of, it's kind of half town hall, half tavern, half inn. Seems to be one size fits all communal community center style building, all made of this like lovely dark timber framed up against fresh hewn rock. And there's the occasional chicken or some bird of that description cawing. You've got the occasional crunch of the wagon wheels that have been pushed around and unloaded, and yeah, the wind hitting the trees and rustling through.
I hear my stomach start rumbling and just kind of look at anybody else like, I'm hungry.
Yep.
Starving. Food.
Liquid diet.
Pub.
Do you want a drink?
Pub
Always
has,
hungry.
pub has food.
Pub has
Yeah.
food. Pub has people to talk to.
Even better.
Pubs people to drink against and win.
Ah, the
How much
peak of the
further?
social skills.
Where we heading?
Pub.
Ah,
Food.
To the
Pub.
bar. Okay, so you head over to what appears to be the central kind of community building. Does appear to be open. There does appear to be lanterns on inside. The fireplace is empty and not lit. And as you guys enter, it feels new. Like I say, the taverns that you guys are familiar with down by Saltmarsh and around some of the other port towns you've been to, the tables are all chipped and sort of scarred by sort of engravings and people working blades into them. The floors are often stained or, sticky where ale and food's been spilt. And there's always that kind of that hanging stale sweat and ale smell. Whereas this place is positively posh by their standards. Like, it's clean, it's well maintained, it looks new. And in there is a couple of fairly casually dressed, looks quite, I wouldn't say rich, but fairly well to do about themselves, sort of people sharing a couple of laughs and kind of enjoying an afternoon drink. And there appears to be an elderly gentleman who is perched up behind the bar.
I walk up to the barkeep. Biggest pint you have, mate. Biggest glass you have, fill it with ale.
All right, strangers from town.
Ale.
I'll walk up to next to Rowan and say, we are here on business, but we are hungry as well. We've just arrived, so hopefully we can have a drink and some food before we get going.
He hops off his chair and kind of limps across to the cabinets across. Anyone else having anything? We want to make the trip once.
rum.
Rum, please. Don't care what it is, as long as it's rum flavored ish.
All right. He takes your order. Some nice-ish glassware. Again, it's no chips. It's well nice. It doesn't look like it's just been sort of briefly dried with a towel and thrown back in. It's your drinks are prepared. The ale takes a little bit longer. It's kind of a let it settle Guinness style. Top it up. It's out on the bar.
I'm going to keep one eye on Sasha, as I know she is young, and remembering the last time we let her have alcohol, I'm going to just keep an eye on her and make sure she's not drinking too much.
Top that up with a minute.
Yeah.
Young by Elven standards, yeah, but that's still very young, and she's still like fluttering about, going, rum.
Teenage elf, 243.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm going to
70s.
I'm going to keep topping up Sasha's glass.
Sweet
With
rum.
what? Because
We
Reba
bought
might
a
react
single
to
drink,
this.
so that was it.
That'll be 2 silver then, please, for your drinks.
I got it. Since someone else is gonna
Looks
pay.
around
I
all
was,
of you.
I was about to, I was just looking at if I have any gold in my
I
thing.
spent exactly
I do.
2,000 gold last starting. So.
Hey, who picked up the bar tab? Bingo!
I've got 700, so I can vouch for the team.
I've got some spare and all. So
Good,
I'll
we'll
get
let
the next
baby
round.
pay.
Okay, I'll get the food. Can we get some food, please?
It's only basics, I'm afraid. We've
I don't care.
had a bit of disruption for our hunting parties, and we haven't got a lot in, but we've got some stew on the go that'll keep you
Mhm.
going.
What's in it?
Rabbit and potatoes and fresh veg.
Bunnies. Bunnies always taste good, especially with fresh rum.
Another side eye at Seisha. Like,
Yeah, same here.
Can I have another
But
ale,
I'm
please?
from the mountains. I do not really fish that much. I eat meat.
Dressed in any of you folk then with a bowl with a plate full, or is it just the drinks today?
I'll have both.
I think we get a bowl each and another round of drinks, please.
2 more rounds.
You-
Yeah, 3.
Can-
Make it 3.
Can you
guys, we have
make
just
sure-
arrived.
I say
It's
to the
been a long
barkeep-
journey. It's been a long journey. We are parched.
I say to the barkeep, can
Less than 14 minutes into the campaign, and
Everyone's
3
drunk.
meals deep.
can the silver-haired one get some of your special vodka?
I'm gonna.
Looks at you pretty.
You
Quick
know,
seer.
the stuff that you
I'm
make
gonna
sure that you
Roll a
give.
persuasion check.
I'm gonna stealthily tap the rum to let him know she can have that.
You roll a
15.
persuasion check against hers.
Oh shit! I'm not good at them. Come on, dice.
Don't fail me now.
Aren't you guys glad I'm not a wild magic user? Because every once in a while, if she
Hey,
drinks a little more,
Guys, boom.
hey, it just sparks
Right.
everywhere.
When I said remember last time,
Make your such a persuasion.
It's
15.
controlled.
Cool.
3. Yeah.
You make the gesture, but he doesn't. He's kind of looking the other way at the time. He's kind of focused on trying to understand what Neptis is on about, and you think the message is
The
going.
birthday shot.
In the meantime, I'm walking over to push like 2 tables together so everybody can sit down. And she's like plopping everything around. Just keep yourself super active because she's a little more hyper with everything. So much magic bottled up in her.
So
Very
the,
rarely used.
Tables are pushed together. You guys find yourselves a seat. Your meals are brought out to you. The elderly gentleman seems to be working on his own. He takes him a little while to get across the room, but the dishes are prepared, and you can see now he's kind of got this scraggly, thinning grey ponytail that's kind of pulled back loosely at the back. No beard. It seems to be kind of a couple of days with the stubble. You see a couple of sort of scars around his chin. He's got quite a weather-beaten look about him. And he's got this kind of heavy limp as he settles back up behind the bar. Okay, that'll be for the last couple of rounds. And the food, it's called around 5
There's
silver.
3 rounds.
You've
Okay,
already
I
paid
got
for
that
the
one.
first one.
Yeah, but we asked for 3 more rounds.
No,
3 more.
You asked for 3 extra rounds. We did not.
And I'm paying for them.
But I will pop them into my little flask for later, just in case. Because trying not to be in a bad influence anymore. You can see, like...
Oh, I remember
the
that
regret
character.
in her
Now it all comes rushing back. I remember last time you played that character. Oh dear. I
She's
forgot
just sitting
about
there, just kind of twirling this flower that she picked in her hand, like little sparks of magic just flowering, going, I'm hungry.
Food's here now.
And he waits for you guys to kind of get mostly through for your meal. There's like kind of fresh, kind of rough baked bread. The stew is hearty, it is filling, it is good, and there is plenty of.
What sort of bread is it?
details, Rob, details. Tell us
There
about
are
the
Is
many
it a
bread.
different types
sourdough
of
rye?
breads.
Is it wheaten? What
Yeah, is it a brown
Is it dense?
crusty
Is it
loaf?
fluffy?
Me in
Like,
real
pack
life,
some
Is
to
it
go.
doughy?
Is there
as
gluten
Rob
in this?
distinguish between bread, so you guys got no chance.
Is it a whole
Yeah.
loaf, or do we get individual smaller ones?
It's a
If
whole
it's
like
fresh, we can pack it to go.
And we just rip it
Oh.
off.
Is it a cob? Is it a bap?
Okay, we're gonna stop
Very
taking a
chef.
piss. I'm
and
sorry.
it's, and it's a bread cake, you southern.
Tell us about
Barkeep.
the
Barkeep. Does this have gluten in it?
Oh, fuck off. I say
You
from
got a
across the
vegan
table
option.
and just throw a
a bread.
cob at her face.
Catch it.
Give me for making assumptions, but are you the 5 we called for? From the
It
guild?
depends.
Oh,
Nod, really.
I assume so.
Looking at him like,
possibly.
yeah, that would be
We're
us.
quiet- We're quiet enough in these parts to know when adventuring types come through, don't you worry.
Well,
I'll
you
get
did
the
away.
one.
That away.
Obvious.
Do any of you have any insignia of your Rangers Guild on you? Just out of interest.
I'm wearing hot pants and bandages. I have not.
Not.
I'm just a starky bastard.
I could turn around and it might be spray painted across my back of my shell still.
I have it as like I have it as a pin in the back of my head, kind of holding the hair up, like really pretty. And on my rings.
I have it as like it's part of like my belt, holding my crossbow to my back. I have it as a big old emblem, so I kind of pull back the collar of my shirt.
Appreciate you a lot on your downtime and wanting to get your feet up for a bit. I can relate to that. I remember those days, but we called you here of matters of importance, so we'll leave you to your meals, but when you finished up there, be good to have a few minutes of your time to fill you in on the problems we've been having, and hopefully
you can fill us in now. We don't mind.
You guys told me
We can multitask.
Eating bread and just listening.
Definitely can.
You guys said we were coming for a drink.
Well,
Yeah,
if we
but
get the information at the same time, it's 2 birds, 1 stone. What are you complaining for?
we are also here for a reason.
Multitasking.
No one told me
My
that.
intelligence isn't that low.
Someone take away
Got
a
a drink,
from
haven't
us.
you?
I'm probably not the best person to give you the details. It's Jacob you want to speak to. He's he's in charge of the council these days, so it'd only be proper for him to make the introductions and like I say, enjoy your drinks and finish your food, and when you've done, I'll call him over for you.
Aye.
Thank you.
As you are, and he goes and potters around the bar and does barkeepy activities.
You think he'd sell me his hair?
And
wrong
attach
with
it
his
to
hair?
what?
I thought I'd get a wig.
You want better hair than that for
By
a
Want
the
some
way,
of mine?
Don't steal some. No.
I have so much.
Everyone
Just
in this
keeps
place
going
is
back.
keeping their respective hair.
Not to the back.
I don't know why it keeps growing back like this. It must be the ancestors. It's just, nah.
So
It's so good that you're pretty.
Thank you.
That dumb. A lot of my mind. So much of my mind. Just what?
Eric. 20 minutes or so passes. You guys wrap up your meal. The booze of varying degrees and strength and quantities is taking the bird. You do feel a bit relaxed, a little bit chilled. And eventually a younger kind of woodsman-y looking chap enters. His kind of boots, trousers, looks like a bit of like a functional cloak that's like kind of cut off at the sleeves. Seems to be kind of I've done a day's work. It's kind of a little bit of dirt smeared on kind of across the brow. Hands are a little bit dirty. Boots muddy. And kind of comes in, shakes the boots off at the door, and pops in. Kind of takes a moment, kind of takes in, sees the large collective of eccentric individuals in the middle of the bar that rearrange the furniture.
I'm just lying back in my chair with my feet up on the table, just for visual.
I'm still staring at Seisha, like just making sure she doesn't do anything that would get her or us into trouble.
She's just inspecting a weird jewel.
Literally so ready to just grapple her.
So you must be the folk we sent for from the south.
Apparently.
That'll be us.
You
Well.
the rangers, the mercenary group.
The rescue rangers.
Our rangers.
Continue to look at this like diamond that she has and just kind of like.
And he grabs a chair and kind of inserts himself into the table.
Do you want a rum?
No, I'm fine, thank you. I don't suppose Gregor over there has told you much detail, has he? I'm imagining he's kept it to himself and let me do all the talking.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yep.
The gentleman behind the bar just raises like a half-cocked eyebrow at him as if to say, well, yeah. Very well, like you say. My name's Jacob. Jacob Evenbowen. That's the wrong voice. My name's Jacob Evenbowen. I run the council here in Drydale. The five of us who preside over this settlement, if you were. Ever since Gregor over there has retired, seems to spend more of his time in the bar than he did when he was out adventuring, bless him.
Makes sense as
Look.
he's a barkeep, right?
Damn sight better barkeep than he was an adventurer, isn't it right, Gregor? And he just gets a mouthful of obscenities aimed back at him.
At least he quit while he was at it.
Ooh, he had some good swear words. I'm going to go to the bar.
Not everyone walks away from this trade, as I'm sure you're aware. Plenty of people take up the lie for the sword and don't come back, or end up worse for wear for it. So it's nice to see you lot with a bit of success and like you found your way to this here town.
Oh, he's talking. I'm just going to start cleaning my sword. 'Cause I'm bored of what he's saying.
Look, I'll cut to the chase, all right? We've had some problems over the last week or so. Well, this town's usually quiet. It's usually a place for adventuring types to call it a day, retire in nicer surroundings and not have to worry about encroaching pirates or merfolk or God knows what else is in those oceans. You spend your days, you help the community, make sure the firewood's stocked, food's in the larders, and everyone helps each other out. And it's been peaceful up here. God knows we can do with that this time. We've had a few folk went missing probably 10 days or so ago. And usually, people wander off, people get lost in the woods or find themselves injured, sure. But it seems a bit more than that. A few of the adventurers went out looking for them. I don't know, a week or so ago, Myra's husband, Jarek, he led a group out and we didn't see him. 3 of them went and no one came back. And at that point, we sent out some of the counsellors. There's Gregor's young daughter, Hannah. She's got a few of the tricks up her sleeve. She studied at the academies and knows her way around a spell book or two. And she seemed pretty happy she could resolve it and headed out. Her and her husband went out, and Uther and the other counsellors. And again, we haven't seen them in, it'll be 3 days now. And that's when the letter went out to you fine folk. I can't do a lot on my own. If they fall into trouble out there, it's I know when I'm beaten. I know when to call in outside help. The guild's got the good relationship. The guild's got the good history. From what I hear, you're the type of folk who can sort problems out if the coin's right.
Name me some. Wait, what are we calling ourselves? Rangers. It's been a while since I've been a good person.
You are part of a larger mercenary guild called the Rangers of the Sea. It's kind of like think almost like Marines, like American Marines. That's like very much for hire, like boarding pirate ships, anti-smuggling, naval swords.
That's fine. It was an in-character question to the party. I was like, wait.
No,
well, yeah, that's what mercenaries do. You got coin, we'll sort out our problem.
Long story short, I want you to find these people that have gone missing now. I'm under no illusion, right? I've been around the block a few times with my adventuring life. People go missing for long. It's usually a case they don't turn up in one piece. But I want to know that the people are safe and that whatever's causing this problem's dealt with. For your time, I can offer you 500 gold each. And we've got some old artifacts and some magic items in storage you can help yourself to should you bring anyone back alive.
Can we take the magic item to go back find them?
Nicest way. You've got a good reputation, but I don't trust you. Sell swords, right? I need the work done before the reward, I'm afraid.
But yeah, we're
such rewards could help us if we, if there are any magic items that you feel, we're not asking for obviously all of them, but if there's anything that you had that might help us find your friends quicker, that might be useful.
Success and exploits wouldn't have found their way this far if you weren't already well prepared for this sort of work. You don't get this far in this business until, looking for handouts, you know that.
That's a real shame, because, you know, we'd probably be able to do our jobs better with them, but...
You saying you can't do your job well without them?
Saying we could do it better. Magical items will never go amiss. Didn't you agree?
Sure, so if you can help us out, they're yours to take with you forwards.
Or we
use them on
could
the
just
next
kill
people
you
we
and take
help.
them.
Or, as I quiet my lovely friend there, or, yeah, we'll see what we can do. And, you know, is there anyone else that might be able to give us more information than you already have?
Yeah, like, I mean, I tend to be out and about most days, but I know Myra said she heard some things. Her husband, Jarek, he led the first party out into the woods to look, and so she might know where they went looking. Other than that, we had, I don't know how to put this. Again, forgive me, I'm not particularly well versed in these sort of oddities. I prefer beasts I can kill with a sword to the ones that dabble in the arcane. No offense there. But Rolgard
Every offense taken, but okay.
Rolgard stumbled back into the village. He was the old carpenter. He's the folk who put these lovely buildings together and roofed the houses. And he came back a couple of days back. He's not quite been right. He seems confused and, well, you're probably best off speaking for yourself. He's head out this door, building straight opposite. That's Myra's place. He's the closest thing the town's got to a physician. She's got him on bed rest, but if you ask him around, he seems confused, a bit out of it. None of us can make any sense of it, but you might be able to get something out of him. I'll just request he be gentle with him. I don't know what he's been through, and he's pretty skittish, so just tread carefully on that one.
Okay, no, that is great to know. We'll make sure that we are delicate with the situation, as I look at Rowan.
I'm under no illusions here. I can see how this looks. You strangers in a new place, and I'll prefer a warmer welcome, but put yourself in my shoes, right? We've got our families, our people who've looked on us for protection going missing in the night, and anyone who's still handy with a sword goes out there and goes missing as well. It's a few of us are a little bit uneasy, as you can imagine.
So we're willing to do that. You think you'd give us a welcome party since we're going to risk our lives for you?
For the people who be able to give you the welcome party weren't missing, maybe we could have done.
I'll buy us a grog and we'll look past it. We'll get on his way.
We could take the 500 gold that he's offering us to do the job and be fucking grateful for it, you pair.
He's not giving us
Okay.
that till after.
So
Yeah,
let's go
and
and do
you've
our
been
job.
stingy with the stuff. Right, what? If you don't want us to scare this guy, shall me and Omi just stay at the bar and we'll see you later?
Highly recommend stop drinking though.
Okay.
Insight check on the truth of that. Okay.
Yeah, go for it. Omega asks, are you intending on, if I make a persuasion check, Tony, and Hannah make a insight check?
Persuasion.
I rolled a 16. It's not great, so it could go either way. But...
If you're straight up lying, roll a deception check.
Oh, I help her because I want to stay at the bar as well.
Yeah, with advantage.
Oh, shit. 15.
You have travelled enough with Omega Ross to know when he's full of shit. And they are very much, yeah, there's definitely that mischievous look of, yeah, of course, we won't drink anymore. Just like the last time.
And the time before that.
And the time before
Time
that.
before that.
I'm just trying to be good because you said the guy's skittish and you know what people are like around me.
And the last thing we need is you blackout drunk and causing issues. I am all for one for a bar brawl to figure out what's going on in the town.
There's no one in here to brawl with.
There's no need to brawl, and we're not in that doctor's office stirring shit with that guy.
Have you seen my face? He won't like this.
Yes.
Have you seen my face? I've got massive horns.
I'm
One eye.
aware, but you both really don't have the best of reputations when you get drunk. You'll go, nah, we'll stay here. We won't do anything. You get drunk, and what do? You come and cause shit.
We
Am
won't
I
cause
wrong?
shit.
No, people cause shit with us. We
You
don't cause the
leave
shit.
the
They cause it
premises.
with us.
Guys,
No, I don't.
We
No, I
are professionals. We are being paid to do a job. We are not here to get drunk.
don't. We're not being
Do
paid
that.
yet.
No, we are being paid to do this. We're here to help people. We have travelled all this way. And if you didn't want to, follow the rules and not get drunk and actually do the job and work, why did you come? Like, you're not here to
Because you
drink.
said
You
we
can
could
drink.
get drunk when we get there.
You can drink in your own time, but at the
You
moment
speci-
there are people missing. So
You
that is
specifically
our
said
priority.
you specifically said on the road we were looking for the pub.
We were
We
looking
found
for
the pub because we were traveling for ages and we needed something to eat and to relax a little bit. Now we have done that. We are not here for a knees up for the evening. We are here to help people and we're going to be paid for it. So we have somewhere to be now. So I suggest we go. And I'm just going to
Right,
turn
it's
and
not
walk
my
out the
fault
door.
if you get scared then.
I'm not saying you still have to come with us. I'm just saying, stop drinking.
So where are we going to go if we're not drinking?
You can stay here.
There are
I'm
other
sure
things to
barkeep are
do.
not gonna mind.
And she's
You
just
could.
kind of
Abby?
looking at everybody like they're just
You could, if you didn't want to come
parents
in,
arguing,
you could,
like-
leave the pub and stand outside the building that we're going to be in, so you could perhaps still hear the conversation, or you
Yeah,
could even,
kind
And
of
scare
both.
all the villagers.
talk to the. No, you could talk to the what is it, Jarek's wife that we're going to see, Myra. Talk to her. You don't have to see the man that is going to be triggered by your appearance. There are other ways around this than staying in the bar and drinking, because we're here to do a
It
job.
kind of leans over to Seisha and just kind of whispers under his breath, like, are they always like this?
Yes.
yeah.
Just
Herding
say-
cats
let's
comes
just say
to mind.
the good
It's only
thing
because
is
they
the
love each other.
reputation that comes ahead of time.
Fine, let's go.
Just
Come on. I
behave.
promise, when we're done and we're successful, we will drink until the early hours. But now
I-
we're just at the beginning. We're
I
just at the
will-
beginning.
I will fight you at the end of this. We will get drunk as fuck, and you can fight me. I will
Fine,
let you take the first punch.
fine,
both
let's
of you
go.
against me.
Fine. Go,
Cool.
go.
That's,
Yeah,
that's not
promise.
fair on you.
Yep, go,
That's not
go.
fair on you.
Let's go.
Yep, lead the way.
Have we eaten?
Yeah.
Good.
Hailed.
She's satiated. She's not going to be trigger happy
Stacia's
from
still eating bread in the
hunger.
corner.
Yeah.
Do we?
As it runs across the road. Fireball!
Yes, hanger is a real thing when it comes to being part dragon. So
I walked out after my grand speech, so I'm just standing outside the door, like waiting for people to come out like that.
As we follow him out behind him, I pass my flask to Ruin.
So you're going to pass it back to her. Like, we'll keep this going.
Stacia's gonna wrap some of the stuff in like the bread in like a little kind of handkerchief thing and toss it into her bag of holding. And yeah, because you need food along the way, and she gets really angry.
Road snacks.
You're-
Oh.
She's a
Okay.
hungry elf.
Let's go see this.
now
medicine
that
woman.
you pop out into kind of the main street of Dryden, like I say, it's probably about between 8 and 10 structures that you can see, and it doesn't seem to be much of a structure other than kind of the whole town seems to be almost like a giant letter T. You've got the town hall on the centerpiece, and then everything kind of just branches off in 3 directions, and you kind of can look down all 3 of these routes, and straight opposite there does appear to be a settlement, a modest kind of single-story wooden stone apartment, for lack of a better word. Seems to be the one that Jacob had directed you to.
I will go up and knock on the door.
Oh, thank you.
And a few seconds, and who is it?
My name is Reva. I'm with the ranger party that are here to investigate the disappearance of your husband. Jacob sent us over here.
Are you the folk Jacob wrote to?
Yes, that's us.
It's open. Come in.
I will.
You've
push
got a
the door
combine harvester.
It's like that, or everyone's Yorkshire. It's your choice.
Mix it up a bit.
Trust me, I'm going with the combine harvester at this point. I'm sick of Northern.
Have less of that heresy on this channel, thank you very much. You push the door open, and this place seems a lot less kept. There is scatterings of stuff everywhere. There are, there's like a travel cloak that's piled on some boots by the door. There are upturned bags. There seems to be a lot of there seems to be a lot of things going on in here. You see empty glass vials that are kind of haphazardly stacked up around the sink area, and then the property opens up into kind of a lounge, if you like, where there is a not particularly old, I'd say a human female in kind of her early 50s, late 40s. The hair's just starting to grey through, like what would have been kind of raven black hair, but the grey's just starting to creep through. And she's kind of hustling about and preparing various. There's a big pestle of mortar on the table, and there's as you kind of enter, kind of this pungent scent hits you, and it's a mixture of kind of medicinal mixed with herbal, and it's quite offensive. And up against the wall, there is kind of like you're not sure if it's a table or kind of like a couch that's been repurposed as kind of like a hospital bed, or if you like a clinical bed, where there is a gentleman laid prone who appears to be asleep, like a sheet pulled up to the chest, and she's kind of fussing about, and you can see her goes between checking the herbs and things. She adds a bit of some sort of liquid from a glass vial into thing and starts crunching it around, and you see her dip a cloth in and kind of go over and tend to the gentleman on the bed. And while she's doing that, she just kind of almost talks over her shoulder towards you without paying much attention to you. Okay. Took you long enough to get here. We sent the letter a few days ago now, and what is it Jacob sent you over here for? Shouldn't you be out there looking for my husband?
We are just about to go, actually. We've only just arrived, really. We've eaten after a long journey and come to see you. We were hoping before we head out you could perhaps give us some more information. And also, if we could talk to this gentleman that you're tending to, he might have some useful information for us too.
Okay, yeah, very well. I mean, you might not get much out of Volgard here. He's been quiet since he came back. He doesn't seem to know much or even know who he is at the moment, I'm afraid. But I don't know if I can be much help myself. But take a seat, please. And he gestures over to a few chairs, and there's kind of like a seating area to the other side of the room, and she takes a chair opposite and gestures for you all to join her.
I will join her.
I'm outside.
Oh.
You people.
I appreciate.
He's just gonna ask Lady. Oh, I'm sorry. What do you mean? Doesn't know who he is? Is he just in shock? No.
It's nothing I've seen before. I mean, been nursing people back to health all my life, and never seen anything like this. It's don't know what to make of it. He went missing. He was working late on doing some new roofing timbers for some stables down the back, and he just wasn't there in the morning. People headed out and thought he'd just got, trapped or might have got hurt in the woods. Went to the usual felling areas, and no one could find no hard hair of him. Jarek and a few of the men went out looking for some other missing folk a few days, and God forbid he's not come back either. And I'm worried about him. I mean, I know he can handle himself, but it's been long enough. And I know Jacob and Gregor and the council wanted to do right by us. I mean, they went out looking as well, and they've not come back. And this whole thing's a bit of a mess, to be honest. And no one really knows what to do next. And
does he know who he is, at least?
Hasn't said much words that make any sense. Doesn't seem to recognize it when I called out to him, and he kind of comes to. And
when you say he's not making sense, as in he's not, is he speaking a language that you, is it just something that you don't understand, or that he's really not sort of compass mentis at all?
It's not a language I recognize. It just seems to be the odd word, and he just seems to not know what happened, where he is, where he came from, anything that's happened to him. And just seems scared. Bless him. Just giving him some herbs for his fever and some sedatives and things to calm his nerves.
Can I see if because I'm quite sort of healing aligned. Can I perhaps go over to him and see if there's anything that I can tell if I sort of examine him, and to see what he's if I've seen anything like this before, basically, with my days as a cleric in the temples, etc.
I mean, sure. I mean, if the gods can help, then be my guest. If can't hurt anymore, I guess. Yeah, please, just be careful.
Of course, thank you.
You head over, and there is this. It's a very makeshift. You get the feeling that due to the size of the town, they don't exactly have a high triage rate, and there's no need for a major medical center. And it seems to be very much a haphazardly, quickly pulled together kind of front room turned into a clinic. And as you head over, what would you like to do? You examining or anything specific?
Examining him with sort of paying attention to is he conscious, can I tell?
He seems to be kind of in almost like a sedated state, like his eyes are closed, but he kind of moves around a little bit, like rolls around. And
okay, I'll turn to the lady and say, have you given anything to him to make him calmer, or is this just his general sort of state? Is he sedated, or is this how he is all the time?
Not recently. I've been tending to those wounds up on his head there, but I'm not giving him anything recently. It's just, I'm not quite sure what's causing it. It's nothing physical I can see apart from, she points out, if you want to make a medicine check for me to see what you can discover.
A medicine check.
To Reva.
Sean Connery.
A medicine check. That is 15 plus 4, 19.
19, okay. 19. You have a little bit of a gander. I don't know where my voice is these days. I've done. I don't know what I
carry
sound
on with the Southern American. I liked it.
It's not by design either. It just accidentally happened. You approach the bed, and you can see quite clearly there seems to be wounds around the temples that lead round to the back of the head. The hair looks close cropped, but it looks haphazardly done. It doesn't look like it was styled. It doesn't it looks like it's been just shorn away roughly, and you kind of see this incision going kind of from the temple here around the back, and you can see kind of where there's this kind of green paste that seems to be applied on the temples, which the aroma gives it away and offends the nostrils as the same stuff she's been mixing. Other than that, there doesn't seem to be physically anything wrong with him. There doesn't appear. There's a couple of bruises and minor contusions and things, but nothing that out of the ordinary.
Okay. Is this how he, because I understand he arrived back into town in a sort of confused state. Is this how he arrived back with his hair like this, or is this something that you've done to make the wound more accessible?
Came back like this. I mean,
okay.
He's not one for long hair, to be fair, but he didn't go out like that. He came back and he was covered in this, like, I don't know what it was, like this weird slimy substance. It was like almost, I don't know what it was, like some sort of plant material, and there was dirt and almost like seaweed, and it had been dragged through caves backwards. And
do you have any samples of what he was covered in?
Just kind of waved him off and brought him in here. We didn't really think to be honest. He was more worried about making sure he was all right. And once we got him cleaned up and got all the sand and dirt and mud off of him, we saw this. And she points to the marks around his head. It looks like something cut into him or something. We don't know. And
yeah, it does look. Is it just like a straight line then around the back of his head, like an incision?
What did you roll in your medicine check?
19.
It looks pretty. It looks pretty deep. It looks pretty aggressively done, but it looks surprisingly accurate and clean. There is a fairly heavy incision that goes all the way around, but it's not wavy. It seems precise. It seems intentional.
Okay. I'm just going to step back and carry on, like start thinking, and maybe head out to Rowan and Omegaros and convey the information, see if they've got any ideas on what could have happened to him.
I would like to cast Detect Thoughts, please.
Detect thoughts. Ooh. Play with new magic. Yeah. Go for it.
Fantastic.
That's a
Does he-
very, very intelligent, a very, very interesting answer. Option. So, detect thoughts.
Does he have an intelligence of 3
I
or lower?
forget you're an arcane trickster. He does not have an intelligence of 3 or lower.
There we go then. He is affected by this. So I would like to know. Initially, I learned the surface thoughts of the creature,
Mhm.
so the thing that's
As
rolling around.
the longer it goes on.
Please.
Just give me a second. I'm just seeing if there is a.
If I want to delve deeper, I have to roll for wisdom.
Wisdom saving. The creature can try and
Oh,
resist,
that's
but
it,
you
yeah.
can kind of get their initial thoughts. Okay, you head over. You kind of.
I would
stand by-
like to also do this in a very delicate manner. I want to sit on the edge of the bed and go.
slap
I know
his
you
face.
can't. I know you can't talk to me. So just let me listen to you. And I'd just like to gently place my hand on his face. So it's more of a calming presence. No, like on the side. Don't be anxious. I'm not a face hugger. Come on.
What are you thinking?
Schmack!
Just one finger on the forehead.
So you sit down. You probably kneel down there in the chairs, but you kneel down and kind of you place your hand there, and kind of on the top of the head, and the first surface thoughts. The first thing you originally get is. It's not what's thinking that shocks you, it's the absence of thoughts that shock you. There seems to be gaps that are kind of periodically. There's confusion. There's a lot of uncertainty. But there doesn't appear to be any thoughts that drive those responses, if that makes sense. There's no
Okay.
context for them. Like if you were to read someone's thoughts normally, it's like, okay, if they were confused, you'd roughly know why or what's causing that. You feel like they're confused, but there seems to be gaps.
Okay.
Is he muttering anything at this time, or is he completely silent?
At the moment, he's quiet.
Okay.
I would like to probe deeper into the not gaps.
Okay. What's your spell DC?
13.
It's a marvel
Level are we?
on him.
You're a rogue. That's why. If we ever get Seisha's DC later, we're like 35. That's good DC. What was your DC? Sorry, Neptus.
My DC.
2.
Yeah.
It was a 13.
13. I roll a 13. I'm afraid you kind of partly get through, but then so you start rooting through. You get almost like a flick book of very, very quick flashbacks, but most of it is unintelligible to you. There's a lot of confusion, a lot of not understanding the context around it, but you get initially like fear, and there is kind of a flash of an image of them being attacked and dragged, and then there is confusion, fear, uncertainty, and then just a blankness. There seems to be a huge gap of there is no thought, and then
Like
the
it's been
confusion-
wiped.
and then the confusion comes back, and like there is almost traces of you're being an arcane trickster. You kind of get a feel like that there's a arcane essence or an arcane presence that seems out of place. And then you almost get pushed out of his mind. You get pushed out and you lose the connection.
Okay.
Just gonna turn to Neptis and say, what did you see?
Unfortunately, not a lot. It's almost like either his mind's been wiped, or with what he went through, his mind wiped itself because it couldn't cope.
Do you think maybe if I tried dispelling magic, like on him, is it something is there some kind of like block in his mind?
Potentially, I'm not sure. It'd be worth a try, because if it's a magical block, then yeah, that could work. But if it's an
happy to
actual
try.
mental block,
Yeah.
there's nothing.
I mean, at least if I dispel it and it doesn't work, that then sort of narrows it down a little bit, doesn't it? So we would know it's not a spell doing it.
Yeah, very true.
So I'd like to. Oh, it's 120 feet. So yeah, I'll just cast dispel magic sort of towards him on the bed.
Okay, spell magic hits. This kind of blue, almost like pins and needles, like static. You just feel kind of wash over everyone, like you're outside. Rowan, you kind of just feel like the hairs like back of your neck kind of prickle up a second. You're like, it's weird.
Tingly.
And it's you recognize it as when it does weird things with magic. And
It's the rum, isn't it? It's the rum.
And it's just, and yeah, you kind of.
No, we're not drinking rum. It's water.
There's almost like that ozone-y smell for a second, just kind of catches you, and you're like, okay. And yeah, the energy disperses from you and kind of cascades around the room, and the spell goes off.
Check thoughts?
Marking these off as spell usages.
I am.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
You get the same surface thoughts you had previously.
Mm-hmm.
You wanting to delve deeper into the brain.
Are the gaps still there?
I need to make another wisdom saving throw, don't I?
Maybe.
So
Because if the gaps are medically induced, magically, thank you, magically induced, surely that dispel magic would have.
Trying to merge magically and medically, but they both start with the same thing, so it doesn't work.
No.
Magically.
They don't match at all.
We tried.
Like rocket wizardry, that one's fine. You get the same thoughts. There doesn't appear to be any new insight. There doesn't appear to be any new thoughts outside of what you had previously. However, while you two are doing this, you do make a perception check, both of you.
Yeah, I'm good at this with this character. It's the other character. Vale can't do this.
16.
14.
On the 16 and the 14, you notice very, very slight. There seems to be this whitish, with a hint of blue, kind of glow around the eyes, very briefly. And it just kind of almost like someone's got a piece of paper over a torch. That sort of vibe, like through the eyelids. And you see, kind of forming in front of you, a very, very faint hand, like a ghostly hand, which the arcane users amongst you. So, Neptis, you'd probably recognize this. You'd recognize this as Mage Hand.
That was going to be my next question of, is this Mage Hand?
It kind of floats over and then kind of moves maybe 4 or 5 feet and kind of drifts aimlessly around the room and then just kind of dissipates.
I have to keep reminding myself of people's names. I'm very sorry.
This is why I have Twitch up, because it's hard for me, because I've got...
That's why I put mine as my screen name on here.
3 of you haven't. It throws me every week without fail.
Alright, I think I've got it locked now. I look at Reva and I'm like,
Would there be any way to know if he cast that? Is there anything, like, can I...
I can't check.
That's what I was
Pick up
hoping
few
for.
proficiency.
With assistance.
I am not proficient in Arcana, but if Neptus is, I would like assistance. That would work.
I am
Between the
not-
pair of you, you could compare notes on the
Yeah.
old.
Sweet.
Gold
I'm
Nice.
gonna
Nice.
compare.
We'll both look with our eyes. Okay. With the advantage, a 13.
Bear in mind, you're not really magically trained. You just inherit your abilities from divine intervention, whereas she learned. She went to magic school. 13. You are fairly convinced, yes, but it's not how you've seen it before. It's definitely not a way that you've seen spellcasting happen previously. It's certainly not how you've cast spells, Neptis, and certainly not how you've cast spells either, Reva.
Either.
Question.
The main thing is there was no hand gestures and there was no verbal components.
Would the spell would because I don't know spells, I'm a fighter normally, would counter spell work on negating whatever is on him?
Counterspell is more for stopping a spell as it's being cast. So if somebody's like in the
Something
middle
that's
of
already cast, it won't, right? Yeah.
as they're casting, so after something's happened, you want to dispel magic. Counterspell is the same way of putting a shield up to stop a sword.
So dispel magic is the other.
I'm just
one.
As
gonna-
they're swinging
yeah.
the sword, you go nope. Whereas dispel magic is bandaging it after the fact.
I'm gonna lean to Neptus just quietly and sort of whisper in her ear, like, what experience do you have with possessions? Just leave it at that.
While this is going on, who's outside? Is it just
Alcoholics Anonymous, yeah.
Oh no, we're very anonymous.
Very anonymous.
You're just outside.
We're very anonymous.
I mean, the pair of you stand out. You're a tiefling and a turtle. Like, you're not sort.
I'm red.
It's great.
Red and green, you like Christmas.
I literally look like a devil with my freaking horns.
Is your your
Shiny.
sword trident?
My sword.
You,
Just like twirling my sword.
A girl, probably in her early teens, maybe around 11, between sort of 11, 14 age, comes over to you both, and
Hey,
kind of gets like almost uncomfortably close to Rowan, and just kind of stands up and looks up at you.
Have you
there,
heard of personal
scallywag.
space?
What are you?
Someone who appreciates my personal bubble. Do you want to ask that again, a bit more politely?
What are you, please?
That's better. I am a tiefling.
Are they real? She looks up at your horns.
That's not a thing you can ask a lady.
You can get away with it if it's in D&D.
I see no lady. My horns, I'm assuming you're referring to.
She's a young girl.
No, they are prosthetic. I glued them on my face for fun.
Seems weird. Do you that for?
Drunken bet.
Felt like it. I'm cosplaying as someone who gives a shit.
You here to look for my dad?
Who's your dad?
Jarek, carpenter. He builds all these houses.
Does he have
If
any
he's
rum?
gone missing, then probably.
I hope so. He's been gone a couple of days, and Mum keeps saying he'll be back soon, but it's been a while, and lots of people have gone looking, and no one seems to be able to tell us what's going on.
Which way do you go?
Well, you've come to the wrong two people to tell you what's going on.
He just looked interesting. I thought if you look a bit interesting, you're more likely to figure out what's going on. All the people from around here just seem
I'm
to...
more of this. I'm more of the stab something than work out what's going on.
It sounds like my dad. He was teaching me. He uses this great big axe. He called Keg Splitter, and it glows. It's cool. He was He's been showing me how to use it and I'm getting good.
Where is it?
He took it
Did
with
you
him.
take it with him or?
Hmm,
Okay. Dibs.
yeah. Did he show you how to use a sword?
That body before you found if he's alive, dead, or even there. That's just mean.
No, I just go to.
Oh, here
Oz,
to
like,
save you. Wham! Take that.
This is mine now.
They grow up so quick.
Like
Did your
she
dad
just
teach you-
she's still staring at me.
Yeah, she's like, just like.
Can you take one step back for me, please?
She takes like a 3-inch step back.
Yes, you
I
take directions somewhat well.
go into my shell.
You know what? She needs to come
Turtles.
out of her shell. I say to the little girl.
Like,
What are they?
What?
It's the turtle on the floor.
They are in need of some rum. If you go get rum, they'll come back out of their shell.
I don't think Gregor will let me have any. I'm too little.
Well, say it's for the adventurers. Because they're doing some business over at the physicians and they need rum.
Make a
Here's
persuasion
2 silver. Go get some. All right.
with advantage. Bribing small children for alcohol. Welcome to D&D.
freaking brilliant.
Holy.
You just got on.
Epic.
And she kind of looks around and like as she's about to say, I'm not so you hand money over, she's like, I can go ask. Can't make any promises though. What was your name?
Do your best. I am Rowan.
Okay. And she takes the 2 coins and she looks at them. She kind of holds one up to the sunlight a little bit. She hooks them into her pocket. I'll see what I can do, but I don't think he'll let me. She
Say it's for the big, scary, red-looking woman.
and the strange green thing.
Oh my!
Yes, for her as well.
Just say this.
Just it.
And she runs off. She scarpers off.
I
in
pop
the
back out.
direction of the
Yeah, Oma's
Really
just gone.
I didn't make out.
Oma's one weakness, children.
There's the. Look at it.
Oh,
Pops
one
out
side of
of
this
shell, like-
wall, there is medical discovery going on, and the other side is bribing children for alcohol.
And it's time for a break.
On that note, viewers.
While you guys are inside and arguing about whatever it was you were arguing about, possessions and whatnot,
We weren't arguing about
think
anything.
we
It was
were
going, what do
arguing.
you know
Just saying.
about possessions? And I'm like,
I think it's a possession. I don't.
And the one with most magic can't do anything because it's just pew pew stab stab. I'm just like,
I murder people with my brain.
I can't help.
Wow.
Sorry.
Like sorcerer.
Yeah. One eye on Seisha the entire time.
Like,
So
what?
inside, you guys, what are you
It's already
doing?
mush.
What are we doing?
I mean, I can't
Let's
damage him any further than he
Raise
is.
the issue of maybe like some kind of possession or something because he wasn't a caster, yet he just cast a mage hand, so, as far as we can tell.
Are we sure he wasn't a caster?
Myra kind of. It's kind of. He's done that a couple of times now. He hasn't ever shown any arcane ability in the past. I mean,
Isn't he's done that a couple of times since he's been with you?
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
not any damage with him. So, but yeah, it's unusual. It's back.
That would have been something you really should have mentioned first.
That he's casting spells.
When he's not really supposed to. In the
No, I
politest
didn't-
of ways, but that's kind of important.
I don't really know him that well. I mean, I know he's pretty handy with a bow, from what I gather. He's used to have a range out back, and a couple of the young'uns learned to shoot from him. But I mean, he might be. Clearly, he is. I mean, there must be some magical capability within him. He's just some.
Well, the thing is, there is now. Like, there wasn't when he left, and then he came back, and there is. We can't dispel whatever is going on. I've tried, and Neptus can't see very deep or too much into his thoughts
Wait,
to see
did
what's
you do
going
that-
on.
Did you do that other wisdom check to see if I can go deeper?
Yeah.
Giggity. And
You
you...
didn't get anything. You didn't get anything further, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that's fine. I just couldn't remember whether he had or not, so that's the reason why I asked.
Look, if there's anything else you want to ask him, if you could. I mean, it's the day is getting late, and I'd rather him rest than be put under this.
Question. Just thrown out there. Have you tried slapping him? Like, wake up, bitch.
I mean, he's drifted in and out. He's just not made much sense when he was awake, so I didn't see the reason to force it.
Have you tried waking him up with any kind of magic?
It's
They're not really casters.
I'm not really a magical person, I'm afraid. I can
Do you do that? Sure, sir.
fire.
Looking at Neptus, I'm thinking like maybe we can see if it causes some kind of reaction to whatever's controlling him if I just zap him a tiny bit with something that's not too harmful. I only had one rum. I'm fine.
How many rooms have you actually had, out of interest?
One.
Yeah, because then I
He'd have
traded her
3.
out for special vodka.
And I had a lot of food, so I'm fine. I'm not going to hurt him.
As a side note, Omegaris and Rowan, the young girl has not returned. She went
It'll
into
take
the
her a
town
couple minutes.
and
You
She's
wishful
getting
bitch.
pissed up with your money.
I don't care. She's away from me, and it cost me 2 silver. I don't care. She's away from me.
Bargain.
She was too close.
What?
Personal space, man.
you silver, piss off.
I don't have anything that could particularly like
I'm
zap
thinking.
him into being. I can destroy all the water in the body if you want.
Naughty
Great.
water.
I could make some,
Well, I-
some
We had
bubbles.
this conversation, Neptis. This
Sasha's
conversation.
just thinking. She's like, "What do I
I
have in my
could-
pocket that won't kill him?"
I could
Still cannot weaponize control water.
I could create more water to make him pee. Like, I don't know.
I could
Like
fill
dump
his
water on
bladder with my arcane ability.
Last campaign, we had this conversation. If people are made of 75% water, can I just pull it out of them? No.
Why
Damn.
not?
It was in Sabrina.
No, this is Avatar instead, but I can do blood.
Control
bending.
water's like what? A cantrip? Or is it? It's like a cantrip level 1.
No, it's level 2.
Oh, is it? Still
Yeah.
not level 6. I'd be able to instantly murder someone with water.
Well, let me be level 6 casting.
You're level
that sort of
10.
thing.
Well, I want to be level 6.
Only up to level 5 spells though. So yeah.
No, but like the spells won't let you go any higher.
So
not Pain where Hannah has access to wish.
all right.
On
So
the-
anybody here who's familiar, okay, with spells, I'm gonna ask you guys some spell questions. So I have something called what is it? Where the hell is it?
Fireball.
Not fireball. Hypnotic
hellish
pattern.
rebuke.
Say-
Is the guy's eyes, are they grammar escapes me, are his eyes open?
Not immediately. They haven't opened since you've been in, but it appears
Okay,
what you've heard from Myra.
because I'm wondering if I can cast hypnotic pattern on him, but he'll have to see it and then have to make a wisdom saving throw, but I'm not sure if that'll damage him.
You have to try and wake them up.
Yeah,
Wait.
I am going to knock on the door.
I could just polymorph him into something more.
Sad. You can't be sad when you're a bully.
No.
I
Veto.
polymorph him
promise
into
I
a
won't
healthy
eat him.
person.
Polymorphing the unconscious man.
Well, I can't use counter spell.
Oh, I think
What?
Neptus has got it.
What?
Can I cast protection from evil and good?
Ooh.
You want to-
Willing to
Casting
use it.
everything we can think of on this thing. Like, be gone, foul beast! Trying
The
to perform
protection
an
grants
exorcism,
several
right?
benefits. Creatures of those types have disadvantage on attack rolls, but the target also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed.
Okay. you
Even if
cast,
it's matter after the fact, or
Yeah,
You
he's already
cast-
possessed.
protection from good and evil on the. It is for willing creatures. The creature, a person, doesn't appear to resist you. The spell does go off. your kind of weird bluish arcane nature kind of goes down his arm and kind of round and kind of fades in. Yeah, you, as far as you're aware, that it seems to have taken effect. The target cannot be charmed, frightened, or possessed. And if they are already charmed, frightened, or possessed, they do have advantage on any saving throws against that effect.
Is he awake?
He kind of stirs a little bit as the energy goes through, but there doesn't seem to be any change.
I turn to Mira and I go, "I'm really sorry," and I slap him.
I'm like, "Ooh."
I was going to say
I'm so
frighten him. I
sorry.
come in and just out.
Make a strength check.
Oh god. Just gonna sigh into my hand.
So
Really?
Oh,
Really?
No.
21.
+1, so that's 21.
You'll just like yeet him into oblivion, probably.
I love how I can see your rolls
It's
now
just
as well.
super effective. It's just super
Dude.
effective.
You hit him, and as you
Damn.
hit, you absolutely overcommit how much of a hip twist into that you put in. And rather than just kind of a slap, you hit him where his kind of head snaps to the side, his whole body kind of rolls, he tumbles off the other side of the thing,
You
and his body
snap the neck.
floor.
Do I hear this outside?
You hear a, and then a thud.
I'm going to burst into the room.
Does he
Right,
wake up?
You see Neptis kind of post-slap and this humanoid on the floor in a bundle of blanket on the floor. There's a bit of a stir, there's like a bit of a groan of like, but there's no coherent words and there's no kind of, they seem pretty out of it.
It's just
Johnson-
mumbles, not even a word that I might understand.
Can I just, for the record, be like, Neptis is looking extremely shocked at how hard she actually managed to hit him.
So is Reba.
And then I'm literally turning around to the entire
At this
floor and I'm
point,
like, I didn't mean that. I did not mean that.
He's okay. We can heal him.
God, what do you think you're doing? Come on,
And
Bassy.
you can heal him.
Oh my god, now. You be out there looking, not causing more problems in here. And she pretty much herds the three of you out of the house.
Fuck.
So the words they're mumbling, can we...
Did
Is
I
there
manage to
in
hear
any language?
Roll a perception check. And what languages do you speak?
I speak Common, Elvish, and Infernal.
I speak
Oh,
primordial and
fuck.
draconic.
I got a nat and perception.
Nat 20.
26. Hey! Doing that.
Yep.
Doing that. Give me
Doing
uno
that.
momento. Do any of you... Sorry, what were the languages you speak?
I speak Common, Elvish, and Infernal. You
And I'm
speak
draconic primordial. Yeah.
You
If
reckon nothing is
I-
recognized?
I speak Celestial.
You're not sure if it's a language you don't recognize or it's just like mumblings that could be misconstrued as words.
If I heard it when I burst in with both swords out, swearing at the top of my voice, I also speak Aquan.
Nope.
Can I go
Yes,
up to
you
the
burst
body
in.
and just pick it up? And just speak in Infernal? It's like, you right, mate?
Myra's heard of these three out. Like as you tried to burst through the door, Megaros, Myra's kind of like grandma ushering a family member out of her house, and the three of you find yourselves kind of bodily pushed out into the street.
What are you three doing?
Neptis
Nothing.
slapped the guy.
I
It's
look,
fine.
How much
And you
did
said I'm the
drink?
trouble.
I look at Reva and Sure, I'm like, well, it almost worked.
I appreciate
Like-
your help, and I'm sure you were trying to. I don't know what it is you're trying in there, but I'm not going to have you cause more harm to our patient now.
Would
I
you
don't
believe
think
she
you can get any
made-
worse apart from dead. In all honesty, Mira, I'm very sorry, but
I'll shake my head and
Head injuries, and you're hitting him like that. Look, just
he's a
go and
vegetable.
fight-
Neptis, shut up.
Bring my husband back to me and leave this poor man alone. She shuts the door.
You made us promise not to cause any issues, and you're going around beating up sick people.
I apologize. You guys don't.
The evening is starting.
I pay for the damages.
The
No,
evening is starting to grow.
I pay for the damages.
Approaching sort of mid-evening, and the evening air is starting to chill, and the sun is dipping below the trees.
We're not going before morning, are we?
I think we are. At least some of the way, and maybe camp.
if anybody used their spells, they need to rest.
Yes. Please.
What are we doing in there? Yep, go.
What?
what is your guys' next plan of action?
Someone
What kind
got
of
a
time of the
route?
day is it? Sorry, evening.
It's probably the equivalent of kind of Earth time, for lack of a better, probably about PM-ish, maybe a little bit later. Sun's
Wait,
dipping
Let's
with
just rest and take off
early
early in the morning.
evenings. That the warmth of the sun's kind of vanished from you. That like sort of chill starting to pick up a little bit, and the you got kind of a purplish hue to the sky as the sun gives way to the night.
My vote is to go back to the tavern, see if he's got any rooms, get some more rum, and we'll set off
And
early
that
in the morning.
stew was all right, actually.
Yeah, more stew. Let's get some more stew.
Yeah.
Okay. So you make your way back over to the inn. You find Jacob is not there, but Gregor is, and the rest of the tavern does appear empty. And we will pick up on the tavern after a short 10-minute break.
Ooh.
I'm trying to remember what I actually sound like.
You sound like a Yorkshire farmer, Midland
Ripper.
person, South American.
That's 5 NPCs in an hour and a half. I have no idea where any of those came from.
Dirty South.
We are going to take a short 10-minute break just to refill the tea, coffee, and water. And we'll be back in 10 minutes and we'll pick up on the second half of the first part of our little one-shot campaign. Just a quick reminder, usually this slot on a Friday in Heavyweight Gaming is our 5th Ed long-term campaign, Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden, or a campaign based around that called Secrets Worth Dying For. But we are splitting that up, at least for the next couple of weeks, into every fortnight. And on the off weeks, we're going to be running this 3-part Drowned Caverns of the Fish God, just to keep things going. Just while people deal with lockdown situations, homeschooling, and just getting routines and schedules back in order. So thank you very much for checking out the first half. We'd love to see you all back in 10 minutes. Go get your coffees, go get your teas, and we'll see you all back shortly.
In a bit.
I'm assuming our welcome back to part 2 of part 1 of Drowned Caverns of the Fish God. Our
Part 2 of part 1 of
Carry
like,
on to
part one
lying.
shot.
our fortnightly one-shot that we are running over the next every other Friday for 3 sessions. That's just a little bit of a break for a few of our cast members from our regular campaign, Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden, where Mr. Heavy himself is taking time out just to sort some bits out behind the scenes, and we are graced with Lauren's wonderful presence, who is joining us for this little mini campaign, because she's just trying to get onto Heavyweight Gaming every single night at this rate. She's always, she's just never ever not playing RPGs, which is fantastic. But
It's
we are
locked
back.
down.
Yeah, I'm doing one tomorrow.
Just Zerg rush into it and own it.
It's locked down. What else is there to do?
Do you have separate dice for every game though?
No, I've just got my really good dice, which are actually Pathfinder dice, funnily enough.
So
The ones
she's
that
not
do me
having
well.
to- We get it now. We understand. You need to be Tony's level dice, where you need a forklift truck to go through them.
But I do have a little baggie. I've got another full set, and then I've just got all my lovely spares.
So, a little quick recap then for those who maybe missed the first part, but our adventuring party are experienced adventurers, part of the Rangers of the Sea, a mercantile guild of sellswords who operate around the coastal regions of Greyhawk, working as kind of anti-pirates, if you will, like almost like a counter-pirates special forces unit as such, where you have dealt with boarding and eliminating pirate captains, taking out smuggling rings and slave routes. You have dealt with wayward wizards, aquatic creatures or mountainous creatures that have encroached upon the seafaring towns, and peacekeeping ventures between a few of the kingdoms, just to make sure that everything stays relatively happy and peaceful. And like all good adventurers, a little bit of downtime was quickly interrupted by a request for your services in the a little bit more isolated, idyllic town of Drydale, perched between the forests, the meadow, and a mountain, or some mountainous regions, where Jacob Evanbrow had wrote to you, or wrote a letter. He wrote a letter. Asking for services. You guys up in Drydale, you've been questioning around, you've spoken to a number of the townsfolk around disappearances under strange circumstances, one of which returned under strange conditions, and we pick up after you angered the matron, or the makeshift medicinal lady of the village, Myra, as you slapped her patient with a nat 20 so hard you flinged him off of his bed, and may have aggravated a head injury, and she wasn't having any of it, and kicked you out of the house back into the street. Night is creeping in. I believe you guys had some plans to get some more food and adult water and potentially retire for the evening. So you're outside. The night or evening chill is starting to kick in. The sun has made its final descent, and night is beginning to encroach. What is the plan?
Go in and get some grog and see if there's any rooms.
Yep.
He's just dreaming about food again.
Gonna get
So
beer,
tolerance is
we're gonna
going lower.
get meds, we're gonna nap. Rock and roll.
Fantastic.
Sleep practice. That's what naps are. Sleeping for reps.
You got to train.
Sleeping to
these
keep
things.
everybody alive, in my case, unless you all want to just wake up in a frozen tundra. I mean, just saying.
That's next week. You venture back to the kind of converted town hall, where it's, when you're inside, you saw earlier, there's space for kind of like a raised area for like public speaking engagements. The tables and chairs seem more suitable for town meetings rather than a bar, but there is a serviceable bar in the corner, and you get the feeling it's a multi-purpose, kind of like community hall, community center. You enter. It is empty apart from the elderly Gregor who you spoke with previously, who seems to be moving the tables back gingerly, kind of limping around, pushing things back, tidying up, and starting to kind of clean some of the tables down as you enter.
Hey,
Back again so soon, are we?
Yep, around.
Same again, is it?
Yes.
Not for me. Just like some cordial, if you have some, please.
Limeade.
Yeah.
Yes. Some room cordial. Do you have any rooms?
A couple, yeah. Nothing special, but it's a roof over your head and comfy enough. You looking to stay the night?
Yeah, we're going to set off in the morning to find your missing folk.
All right. Yeah, I mean, appreciate your help, you folk. I know it's take your mind of Jacob. He's under a lot of pressure, and he just wants these people home. And same as me. I mean, Hannah went out with the counsellors, and I know she can handle herself, but you know, you start to worry after a day or so. It'd be good to know that they're safe.
Yeah, we'll see what we can find. Just out of interest, did a little girl come here?
No, what? This evening?
Yeah.
No, after you guys left, Jacob stayed for a couple, and the Hearthright family, they finished the bottle that we're having, and yeah, started tidying up. I haven't seen anyone else.
Yeah. Little con artist.
Okay, got away from me. I do not care.
Yeah.
No,
Worth it, but still.
The two rooms. Look, if it's just the night, you can stay on the house. It's no bother to us, and rather not put you out any more than you are in return for your help and your services.
Cool. Does that include the room?
The room is free of charge. If you're buying ales and drinks, I'm afraid that's going to cost you.
The room.
Restocking's not free.
Room. Yeah, I'll give him whatever he likes for a round.
Another round of stews as well, please.
That too.
Not a lot left, but you can have what's left, I guess.
Extra bread and butter.
He goes and brings out the full, there's probably 3 or 4 servings left across the 5 or so servings left in the bottom of this kind of big cast iron pot, and he just kind of brings it out on the table, and the lid, you can see steam billowing from under the lid, and a couple of the bread chunks from earlier. Not to affect the local distribution of what you call a bread item.
I'll flick him a gold.
I keep your money as long as you bring our daughter back. That's all the payment I need, young one.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. No need for gold now. I've retired. I've got everything I need here.
You
So
must
your
need some
daughter?
supplies though.
Look, it's getting. If you get enough drink, you could be wanting much more after that, or is it early night? Or
Early night, pointedly at them all individually.
look, I've got a few last minute errands to do before I turn in, so just take out turn off the lanterns. Just turn down these lanterns when you leave. The rooms are just a staircase in the corner there. If you head up there, first room on the left, second room on the right are free. If you go in the wrong one, you'll be in the bathroom. And you don't fancy sleeping in there, but
I don't mind.
Yeah.
he makes a very obvious point of locking the drinks cabinet.
You don't think we can get through that? You don't think we can get through that?
Can we not?
We're not going to loot the nice man's bar that he's letting us stay in for free.
I'd give him some money for it.
Okay. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'm sure I'll see you around tomorrow. Some good news, hopefully.
Breakfast?
Fingers
What time's
crossed.
breakfast?
I'm normally in here from just after sunup.
That'll be a good time.
The sooner we leave, the better.
And he kind of pulls on a kind of like a thin cloak of sorts and picks up a few belongings from behind the bar, and he heads out.
Shall we take us drinks and food upstairs?
Yeah, could do.
I just want to check. Did anyone find out like a map or where we need to go tomorrow?
I think they just slapped him about, to be fair.
You do not have a map or
I'm
any
pretty
sense of where
sure
go tomorrow.
Reva knows where we're supposed to be going.
What? Why would Reva know?
Because you actually spoke to Mira. I just slapped a guy.
And you thought I was going to be the trouble.
There's 3 campaigns now I've played with you, Hannah, and every single time you've gone in, and the one question you've never asked is, whereabouts are we going? And you've always had the realization after the fact every time. It's fantastic.
I think if we turn in now and then in the morning, if we go and if Neptis apologizes for slapping the man,
I
we
apologize
could ask,
twice, but I will apologize again.
We could
Wait,
ask
Why
Myra.
don't we ask the dude that came
where
and
we're
spoke
going.
to us then?
Jacob.
Yeah, that one.
Because he said
We could
he
find
doesn't
him in the
know.
morning. I just thought Myra might be easier to find because she's literally like opposite.
She might be, but Neptis beat up a patient.
And did
I
she
didn't
actually
think-
know? The patient might know, but she probably doesn't actually know where he went.
It was
It was her husband. She'll probably know where he was going to. Her husband was the first one to go out.
I'm pretty jealous he didn't invite me to the brawl, but
Same, I'm
Right, guys.
offended.
Let's just go to bed.
He was fine. Nothing happened to him. And like I said, we could have healed him easily. Look, just ask for a map in the morning. I'm pretty sure they have some around here.
That's the
Okay.
point.
I've gotta
Did
sleep.
Any of us try and magically heal him?
No, she kicked us out before he can.
You slapped him.
You slapped him.
His memories, tried to dispel magic, and then you got kicked out. Yeah.
okay, everyone upstairs. Everyone get to bed. I'll lock up.
Oh yeah.
No,
I
you
cast
I don't think
darkness.
so.
I cast
no.
darkness.
I cast light.
I was being good. I was turning off the lights going upstairs. I was being good, but hey, no. Rowan does
There is
something
no
right for
way
once.
that there is anyone that isn't me is the last one up those stairs.
I will lock up. Everybody else go upstairs. Not
I have
touch
blind
the room.
sight. I can see in magical darkness.
I have dark sight.
Blind sight and dark sight are very different things. No, dark sight's different to low dim light vision, low light vision.
Yep.
I am part elf.
I was just making it
I can
dark.
just naturally see in the dark.
I have blind
So-
sight, so
Tiefling can.
Darkness is magically enhanced darkness. You have to have
shit.
blind sight or dark sight to see through darkness.
This is the first
Okay.
time I've never had.
Low light vision, all low light vision does is give you slightly better visibility in the dark. You still are, your passive perception still drops by 5 in the dark, and you don't have advantage and things. It's not, dark vision's massively overrated.
All right, then I
Light
just
vision-
dim all the lights.
Dark,
with my
dark,
thaumaturgy.
dark vision's very good, and blind sense is very good.
thaumaturgy. I open the windows.
I dim the lights.
Oh, come on, everyone
Rage out
upstairs.
inside with the lights on it.
Maybe lock them doors and
So-
turn the lights.
I changed the
Not-
lights to red.
Amagyrus
You find your way upstairs. The rooms are well presented. There is plenty of space each room has a pair of bunks. There's a small chest for items. There's a washroom at the end of the corridor. And again, everything looks well maintained. There's signs of use, but not heavy use. You find yourselves amongst the rooms.
I will go into one of the rooms and then I'll just pop into my shell.
That happens.
On the floor. I won't take up a bed. That's fine.
I'll use the bed in that one then.
How are you splitting yourselves amongst the rooms?
I'm going to go on the right.
How many
I'll go on
beds
the
are in
right.
what? Like
There are
what?
two-person bunks, so 4 people maximum in each room.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I can have
Well,
a
we
bed.
could all go in. We could go in one if Omi's in her shell.
Yeah.
Unless anyone
need-
particularly wants privacy.
No, I just need a bottom bunk because I'm too big for the top bunks.
That's
How
fine.
big are you?
I'm 6'6".
You a big bitch.
Good.
Am
And my
Imagine-
tail gets in the way.
I imagine the half-elves amongst you will be fairly tall as well.
I am. I'm around 6'1". But
I'm
I'm
5'11". I forgot about that.
I think I'm quite a short. I think I'm like 5'4".
The half
You're
elves
light.
will be
Half
a bit
elves are
lighter
like
though.
that.
A
Yeah.
bit lighter, yeah.
Because I'm not
But-
taking off my armor either, so I'm a hunter.
But
with it.
I don't sleep, so I'm just gonna. I can just give any space to anybody, pretty much.
Cool.
She
I'll
can-
get on
she
the
can
bunk
sit
on
on the
top
floor if
of-
needs to.
I'll get on the bunk on top of Rowan. So there's a bottom bunk and a top bunk left.
Is there any
I'll get on the bottom. Yeah.
specifics you guys would like to do before you retire for the night?
I'm gonna take my armor off.
Seisha is going to have a bath because she can warm it up like this and everything with no problem. So it won't take you too long.
Accidentally boils yourself like a lobster.
Yes. Because I can't freeze to death or pretty much then boil.
I'm gonna sleep with my sword, just like kind of hugging it, like this,
Okay.
in my armor,
Oh.
ready to go.
You guys.
Unequipped my armor and my shield, and I've gone down to armor class 10. That's horrible.
Look at the plate wearers. 3! Nah.
Just
Plate
half.
off.
I was 20 before this.
I don't need to be fast. I've got a blacksmith.
Seisha's gonna plop her stuff down, just kind of like rummage through her back and just look for some little oils and stuff, and a
Bath-bomb.
pair of scissors because she needs to kind of trim her hair off because it just grows.
You pull out basically the Lush gift set, and they go.
Yeah.
We don't support
Right.
Lush on this channel.
Yeah.
No.
They are
No, we don't.
horrible.
Uh,
I love their products, but I hate them.
The
the
company's
views
Yeah.
and
yeah,
opinions by the players do not represent the views and opinions of the channel at whole.
precisely.
You guys, you make your preparations for the night. Omega Ross pops into a shell. New character names. Rowan goes to bed with a sword. Neptis goes to sleep, I imagine.
I just stripped down to basically my shirt and pants and just.
Reva, you drop all your kit off, and the same, and Seisha goes for a bath. About 2 hours pass.
Oh, good.
Fun.
Are you still bathing
just-
later?
I am just finished now, like trying to chop the tendrils of my hair that are just ridiculously growing daily. So she like cuts off like this much and already it's starting to kind of go down. And she kind of deals with that. And
Make a perception
And-
check, please, Seisha. And the rest
Mhm.
of you make perception checks with disadvantage because you're asleep.
Passive perception count. Good at that.
Yeah, does
No, it
passive
does not.
perception count, please?
I'm being
Um,
passive. I'm asleep.
22.
17.
Oh, Neptis! God, I like your
Yeah.
rolls just pop up in the corner of my screen.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna roll it on. I'm gonna use the number I got,
And-
9 + 2, 11. But I just want to roll on here just to see if I'm missing something from my. Thank God I'm not using this. So yeah, 9, 10, 11, and I'm not missing anything.
3.
Yeah, I don't use. I just use that to see if I'm missing anything, like from my rolls. Otherwise, I would have sucked. This is why I don't really roll on there unless I really have to.
Hey, my rolls have been lenient with me today.
Which is good.
My rolls have been shit.
So far.
14
As
years.
always, I love to use it to see if I'm missing anything, which I noticed actually in the other game that I actually missed adding stuff on because I didn't know what to look at. I'm like,
It's a
oh,
very good
that's-
point. I forgot that we're like
Yeah.
level 10 and have racial and character.
Yeah, so now I roll on here to check if I'm missing, and then I just rolled actual dice afterwards.
I don't think I've got any perception related ones. So.
So,
11, yeah.
11, you're awake. What the rest of you get? You got 22.
Yeah, I got
17.
22.
10.
17, then.
Mhm.
Okay.
17, yeah.
Wake, but I'm really
Omegaros,
tired.
Neptis, and Rowan, you hear commotion outside. You hear shouting. You hear. You're not quite sure what has been shouted. You hear shouting and commotion of some description out the windows of the tavern, the other side of the tavern. So you kind of
Is it?
Aye.
Did you say other side of the tavern? Not
Yes.
the window outside ours.
back. You're at the back of the tavern. The noise is coming from the town centre or the village centre.
I pop out my cell. I pop out of my shell, and I run through to the other spare room that should be over facing it, and look out the window.
I follow.
I get dressed, full armor and everything, and cast invisibility, and
Takes about 10-15 minutes.
that's fine. I'm guessing by this commotion it's going to take a while anyway. I just don't want to go out in my pants.
So,
I'm
Rowan,
a
If you're invisible, no one will see you.
Very true. Yeah, don't give a shit. Invisibility.
Fantastic Four movie.
Lunge
Is
out.
it invisible? You, Rowan and Omegaros, you head over. You kind of burst into this room and you kind of glance out the window. Can you both make perception checks for me, please?
Nat 20 to make a 31.
I'll do it.
19.
Did I make it outside?
What?
You're still getting dressed and putting your armor on.
Oh no, I said yeah, no, fuck it. I'm going naked and just, well, not naked. I've got a shirt and pants on, but I'm invisible. I cast invisibility.
Okay, are you heading down the stairs or are you going to the other window?
Going to the other window.
To all three of you, you two hit against the window, then this weird invisible like bomb is like, you're aware of Neptus' presence somewhere next to you. You all look out the window. All three of you make perception checks then, please.
19.
Thank
I
31.
got 31.
40,000. Neptus,
14.
excellent. So, sorry.
I'm just
Rob,
whistling
did you
Dixie in the bathroom, chopping my hair still, probably.
get- So did you get
Well, me, 19.
19? Okay, so yeah, between the three of you, you see a bunch of figures that seem to be crowding around the blacksmiths. The door to the blacksmith seems to be open. There is a light on inside, and there seems to be commotion around. You see a female kind of fleeing from the area, and in the path there appears to be 3 cloaked humanoids.
I'm
how,
going to
big,
run outside.
how big is the window and how high are we?
You're on a second story, and the window is, I don't know, standard generic window sized.
Up
Like-
into your shell, we'll push you out.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna,
From the
you
dice.
throw him out the window.
Do you mean
Um,
second story as there's
out
like
the
2
window.
underneath us, or like
No,
there's
second, you are on the second floor.
Hunt the turtle
the
out.
first
the
floor?
window.
There's 1 floor under you,
It was ground
So
floor.
ground
first
floor, first floor.
So we're about 10 feet
On
up.
the first floor, then. Sorry.
Yeah.
The second
Okay.
story, you're on the first floor.
So about 10 to 15 feet up.
Yes.
I'm going to jump out the window.
Wonderful. Make a acrobatics check.
Come
Doesn't
on,
have to
you
be graceful.
20
Just land.
total.
Hard you
Tuck and
want to
roll,
land?
tuck and roll.
16.
Okay, yeah, it's not the
I'm going to
gentlest
follow them.
landing. It's not the gentlest landing you've ever had.
Like a
Celine,
boulder
you-
rolling downwards.
You can hear some footsteps around upstairs. Reva, you're still asleep. Megaros, you dive out of the window. It's not quite a perfect 3-point landing, but you've had worse. You land vaguely okay. Ryan, I know a Rowan, that's why. Rowan, you run down the stairs and kind of fumble with the latch on the door, then kind of burst into the street. Neptus, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go back into the room. At least put my armor on. Don't even care about trousers at this point or shoes.
It's like 8
At least
minutes.
put armor on. And give Reva a shove and be like, "Wake up! There's shit going
I'm going
on."
to sleep through the whole thing.
Put that in perspective.
you.
The time it would take you to doff and dock armor, if things go into initiative round, you are looking at 10 rounds to put your armor on and off.
It's a good thing we're not in an initiative right now.
It is, but I'm just making you aware.
Thank you. But I wake up Reva first.
Cool. Reva, you are awoken. You can't see anything, but you can feel hands on you. And so you're like, what the
What's going on? What?
You can have been shook awake, but you can't see anything, and you can kind of feel
Yeah.
these
Reva,
quick
wake
coming
up.
hands on you.
I'm invisible. Just wake up. There's shit
What the
going
fuck's
down
going
at the
on?
blacksmith.
You're not
Neptus?
is this a dream?
yeah, it's me. It's me. Just
Not
wake the fuck
again!
up.
Not again!
Go. Just go.
No, piss off! I'm not...
So
And Seisha, you can hear that. Wake up from the next door room.
Why? Why am I waking up? What's going on?
Shit going down.
Yeah,
Blacksmith. Go.
You hear heavy footsteps, and I'm assuming plate armor chinky noises as Rowan kind of thunders down the stairs and bursts into the street.
Rowan is going, and it's probably going to end up going bad. Can you please
Oh,
make me aware
As you
while I
burst
put my
into the street, you can hear screams and shouts.
screams?
You hear the female figure that runs away saying, someone's returned, and they run off up and start sort of trying to attract more attention through the town.
does she seem scared or excited?
Scared.
I cast invisibility on myself and run towards the blacksmith.
Okay.
I'm gonna not put my armor on, but I'm gonna grab my shield and I'm gonna cast the spell that I have that gives me, there we go, Shield of Faith on myself.
The thing that does the thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold my shield and cast Shield of Faith to bump my AC without putting my armor on.
So the three of you are outside. Two of you being Celine.
Wrong campaign.
What are you doing?
Well, I was ready, like, finish showering just and everything. I was just cutting my hair. I'm going to just hold the scissors in my hand because they're not a nice weapon because I don't have any weapons on me. I'm just going to dart back into the room and see if anybody's in there real quick for a second and spot Neptus. Huh?
You don't spot me.
Just in a bath towel.
She just nips out.
Oh, no, I was done already. I was done with bath and dressed and everything. I was just chopping my hair off. At 2 hours, it doesn't take me to get dressed. I've been done. So I was just sitting there just going snip.
So currently, you have Omegaros is outside with Ryan. Neptus and Reva are armored on and making their way to burst outside, and you can hear all
Okay.
this commotion.
So
and
nobody's in the room I will listen up to, or they are just
literally
following
open the
along
door
down there.
as you see kind of Reva sans armor just like grabbing a shield and sword and
In her pajamas, like
Yeah.
base layers.
like a onesie but a sword and shield and running down the stairs.
Onesie but made out of canvas, like tunic material.
Ye oldie medieval onesie.
A baby grow, basically. So.
With a butt flap.
Scissors in hand. I didn't take my weapons. I'm just gonna run down, scissors in hand, and
Just gonna
Well,
shout
need much
behind me, your
else.
hands are your weapons.
Rain and
Pew, pew.
Omegaros, you
See me
see
with them hands.
a young human man stands outside the house, flanked by these goblin-oid creatures, which you would recognize from your adventuring days as what appear to be hobgoblins, which they stand at about 6'4". They're fairly broad, They have these kind of fanged, almost like if a goblin and a half orc met in the middle, or a goblin and an orc met in the middle. They're quite gangly, but they're quite physical, and they've got these kind of cloaks up, like these dark-colored cloaks. And you can hear a commotion and a scream from inside of the house.
I'm guessing the hobgoblins are looking aggressive and crap as well, and we know that they're...
They've kind of got these boggle-eyed, like yellowish, sort of tinted boggle eyes. They're slightly hunched over. They, like I said, they've got these like dark cloaks on. They seem to have one of them's clutching a heavy crossbow, quite crude and looks fairly battered. The other one seems to have a long-bladed weapon, and there's kind of looking up and down the street, and you can hear these continued sort of screams and shouts from within inside the building.
You alright, lads?
From invisibility, I want to walk up to the one with the sword and attack him.
Okay. So
I'm going up and just going, all right, lads, trying to get their attention on me.
And they both look over to you, and do you speak Goblin at all?
Nope.
They say something that's kind of this guttural, very like saliva spittley language towards you, and you're sure it doesn't sound particularly pleasant, but you're not sure what it is. But they both kind of look over to you, and they kind of almost like form a, like try and make themselves like a barrier, if you like. The human behind, can you three who are outside make perception checks for me, please?
Did I get outside?
That would be a 31.
You three are more or less just about to just about break into the street as you see, but you don't see Megaros, but you see Rowan kind of standing and these two burly looking goblinoids in
What
front.
check am I making?
You aren't, those two are.
Sorry, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I got 24. You got 31.
Yeah, it's another nat 20.
Jesus Christ. You see the figure in front of you.
I see the future.
It's a quite a disheveled looking human male. You can see you two wouldn't recognize this actually, because you were not in the other house. You notice it looks like he's got an undercut, like a really messy undercut, like the hair's just being sort of rough cut away. And you can their eyes seem to be kind of roll back into their head. It's just no pupil. It's just like you can see kind of the eyes flickering, but it's kind of like the eyes are rolled back.
Does he appear to be with the hobgoblins then?
He stood behind them.
I don't want to tackle the hobgoblins then. I want to walk past them and attack the human.
Okay, so you kind of worm your way around.
Yeah.
Make a stealth check for me, please.
Advantage?
Yes.
Fuck. Oh, shit. 8.
You're invisible, but that doesn't mean you're quiet.
No. Yeah, 8.
Okay.
I rolled a 3 and a 5.
Okay. You kind of disappear to the side while Rowan kind of engages or looks at these two goblinoids, and you disappear and you try to head around and approach the human male. As you do, you in the dark, in the night, and as you kind of as you go, you kind of step onto kind of like a veranda at the front of one of the shops, and as you come down the stairs to the other side, you kind of stumble, and it's just enough to awaken attention. They kind of look over. They're not quite sure where it came from. But then as you pull your blade and move towards, can we roll perception? Perception's initiative, please.
Initiative.
Throw my dice. It rolls to the other side of the universe.
Oh, nice.
I have
17.
Evening.
I have a thing for initiative. Right, so I've got Dread Ambusher. Do I is the number for Dread Ambusher already in my initiative thing?
Should be.
Okay. Is there any way I can
I do it manually.
tell?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm showing +6 on my initiative. I get plus
It should
3.
add it automatically.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Anyone above 20?
Yes.
19.
26.
20.
26 for Omegaros.
I've got an advantage.
Anyone else above 25? Anyone else above 20?
Got 20, exactly, not 20.
You got
1
20.
second though,
Yeah.
sorry.
And I have no pluses.
20 to 15.
I got 17.
19.
19 for Seisha. Who got 17, sorry?
Me, Ruane.
Okay, that leaves one. What did you get, Neptus? You're muted.
I'm not.
We
What
couldn't
would you
hear
get?
you.
It's just
9. I think she got.
9.
We can hear that. I think it was just when it didn't pick up when you said 9.
Ah!
So, Omegaros, you dash forward.
There.
And you can see that there's definitely an acknowledgement that they heard something, but they don't seem to acknowledge where you're coming from as you see the invisibility spell drop from your Tortolan friend as he swipes at the human male. You are top of the round, sir. Go ahead, do what you do. You're muted.
I'm dual wielding scimitars.
Okay.
Nice.
So let's do this. Shit. I'm guessing I don't get advantage for any reason.
You will. This will be classed as surprise. He is surprised.
Okie dokie.
You get your dread ambush stuff.
Yep. So, right. So the first attack is 25.
That will hit.
Do you want me to do damage, or do you want me to carry on hitting? Do damage. Okie dokie. That is 3. That is 7 plus. I'm going to make him my favoured foe, which gives me an extra d6. I'll go for them. So that's 7 plus 3. That's 10, and Dread Ambusher gives me a d8. So 10 plus 1. 11 damage with my first hit.
Yep.
And I would like to swing at him again.
Go for it.
That is a 26 to hit. I don't have anything that gives me crits on 19s, do I? I don't think I do. No, I don't think I do. Yeah, that's that one. So that is 9. Don't get Dread Ambusher again, do I?
Nope.
No. And I don't get favoured foe again either, so that is 9 damage on that one.
A total of 20 damage. Good job.
And so that is my first attack plus my Dread Ambusher attack. And my bonus action, I get an attack because I'm dual wielding.
Yes. So you've got. Have you got extra attack as an ability?
5. I have two attack actions. I'm
Yes.
dual wielding.
If one of your actions is an attack action,
Yep.
You can then use your bonus action to make an offhand strike.
Yep. So I get attack, bonus attack, Dread Ambush attack, second attack.
Yes.
Right. So I've done 2.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Dread ambush, you can only do the first time though.
Yes, that's fine. That would be a 21.
Yep.
Damage. That is 5 more damage.
Okay.
And my final hit is a 15.
That unfortunately does not. And as you swing the blade, there is this shimmer of this bluish white light, which the sword kind of glances off. Appears to be some sort of magical armor. The blade kind of stops about an inch before it hits, and glances to the side.
Interesting.
You see your Tortolan friend break the invisibility, and as you've seen a few times before, kind of has this very strong preemptive strike against the human, and leaves some lacerations across their chest as he swings down and causes some problems.
Yep, so that's action and bonus action. Yeah, I'm done.
Cool, done. Right. One of the goblinoid creatures is going to rush towards Rowan.
Oh, were they really?
Yes, they are. The one with the large bladed item is going to come and clumsily swing it at you twice.
How close to the human were the hobgoblins?
10, 15 feet.
So
The two hobgoblins are kind of stood like in a line, then the human male's behind them.
Yep.
And you kind of go around
Are they close enough for opportunity attack?
No.
Would I have been between them? No.
There is
Okay.
opportunity attack. Anyway,
Yeah,
these two are
no
going to
worries.
try. This goblin is going to try and stab Rowan in the face. Jesus, that's bad rolling. First attack is a 9. Second attack is a 13.
No, and
Hellish Rebuke.
oh, I don't get damage. I didn't get damage, so I can't use Hellish Rebuke.
As they swing, you either parry it off with your own blade, or the armor takes it, and it's just this creature just swings clumsily, and yeah, it doesn't look particularly well trained with a long sword, and it looks a little bit awkward. But it just tries to use brute force to try and cleave it into you rather than any technique. Unfortunately, it does not do so. Riva, you
Did I make it outside?
burst into the street to see Megros hacking away at this human, and Rowan kind of defending against this goblinoid creature swinging a sword.
Cool. I would like to go towards the... So there's the two hobgoblins, isn't there?
Yep.
Can I go towards the one that's not attacking Rowan, the one that's not currently engaged?
Yep.
Yeah, and I would like to swing my Warhammer one-handed at it, please.
Okay, yep. Roll to hit.
It's plus 1. 15 plus 8, so 23 to hit.
Jesus Christ, yes, that hits.
1d8 plus 4. That's a d8. 3 plus 4 is 7, and then I get to roll another d8 thunder damage on top of that once per turn. 5, so 7 normal damage, or 7 bludgeoning damage, and 5 thunder damage. 12 in total.
So you come running up as you bring the hammer across. You kind of mutter a few choice words to your patron, and the hammer kind of just starts crackling. You can feel that sort of tingling static and kind of that ozone-y smell as it swings through the air and just collides. And you see for a second like the creature kind of seizes up as the energy disperses through, and you're pretty sure you've broken, at least, or dislocated something in its facial areas. You just smack it in the face with this hammer.
As a bonus action, is Rowan and the other hobgoblin within 60 feet of me?
Yes.
Can I cast spiritual weapon behind the hobgoblin? So opposite Rowan, behind the hobgoblin.
You may.
Thank you. And I can't attack with it this turn, so yeah, that's me.
Excellent. So what is your spiritual weapon?
It's going to be a hammer because I'm a Thor worshipper. I've gone full on. Like,
Nice.
it's going to be like a massive one-handed hammer.
A legally differentiated Molnir appears behind.
Yes. Yeah.
And it levitates ominously in the air, just crackling with energy.
Yeah.
Seisha.
Yep.
You bust into the street and you see Riva head off and start hammering into one. You see.
Ooh. Sorry,
Rowan.
it says when I cast the spell, I can make a melee attack against the creature.
Yeah, yep.
Sorry, I thought it was next turn. Sorry.
Roll to hit with not Molnir.
Not Melnir.
Molnir.
Molnot.
Yeah.
Melee attack within 5 feet.
Feel far.
Do I get my plus to it?
It should say if you don't. I think you just
I
make.
don't think so.
It just says when you
Straight.
cast the spell, you can make a melee attack against a creature within 5 feet of the weapon. On a hit, the target takes force damage equal to 1d8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier.
Are you proficient with spiritual?
I am.
Then you would get. Let me just
Get proficiency plus strength.
Just double checking for you.
Oh, sorry, it didn't say.
You make a
Okay.
melee spell attack roll, so it's your proficiency plus your spell casting modifier, which for a cleric, I
Oh, okay,
believe-
that's better than me. It's wisdom, so I get +8 to it. So, nat 20, 28.
It's a good night for gnats.
Yeah.
It's a good night for gnats.
1d8. So 1d8 +4 because it's my spellcasting ability.
double the
two-
result of the dice.
Double. Okay, so I got a 2. So 4 + 4 is 8. So it hits for 8 magical force damage.
Is that the
8
one behind,
smacky damage.
8
Smack!
magical smack.
is that the one behind Roraine?
That's the one in front of Rowain that Rowain's engaged with. Yeah.
Roraine, you can see as you're parrying this sort of sparks just form into this kind of almost like a constellation of this hammer, which just swings and just batters this thing in the head. It turns around like, what the hell? You can see kind of this crackling
It's
after.
my one.
I just
I
want
know
to turn and wink
once.
at Rowain.
Seisha, you burst into the street and you see all this going on. You see Amegaros currently hacking into the human figure, and you see your two comrades engaging with these hooded goblinoid creatures.
How far is everybody from me?
I would say the two goblinoid creatures are around 60 feet. The human with Omegaros is probably 20 feet beyond, or 15 feet beyond that. So 75 in total.
Okay, I want to. Oh, first time using magic ever. Guys, help me out here.
Fireball!
It's so much
You can
fun.
do it. You can do
Yes.
it.
You're
All
absolutely
right.
fine.
Fireball.
The
6
thing
levels.
about sorcerers is
Well-
the restraint to not just nuke everything from orbit at any given. There's a meme of whatever the problem is. So you find a door, it's locked. Would you cast fireball?
Fireball.
I have something else just to start off light. I have I want to try to actually use Ray of Frost first because I am a frosty dragon and I have +4 to 1 damage roll of that spell.
Yeah, frost it. So you
So Ray of Frost, yeah.
you point at whichever beastie you would like to frost ray. Do you have a preference of who you're aiming it at?
I'm just still trying to. I was still trying to read this and figure out where everybody is standing. I will aim at whatever beast is closest to any of
Currently-
my companions.
As you're looking out, you can see Reaver engaged with 1. You can see Rowain with 1. And then behind them, you can see this melee going on between Omegaros and a humanoid.
Okay, I'll grab the one that's also engaged with Reba.
Okay, you point the finger out, and there's
Yeah.
just a big kind of beam of
Ray
blue-white
of
light
Frost, yeah.
fires out across. Make a ranged spell attack. So that is your proficiency plus your casting.
Nice.
Charisma for a sorcerer.
So I'm using DnD Beyond for this because I have no idea what to do. So 11 + 8, so it's 19 to hit.
19 will absolutely hit.
Yep. Okay.
Nice.
So Ray of
Just
Frost
fire out.
and
You are 5th level, so it is 2d8 worth of cold damage.
so it's automatically on here. And I can't see, so
You got an
6
8.
plus 2 at 8, yeah. And I think that already includes probably the 4 + 4 of my elemental affinity, does it?
What does it say on the?
It says
does it look
6
like
plus. It says 6 + 2. It actually saw the dice was 6 + 2. So I'm thinking the site actually doesn't add that +4. You have to manually do it.
Roll 2d8, a 6 and a 2.
Yeah.
I would,
8.
yeah, add
So it's 12 in
Sure.
total then.
you're a frost mage, basically.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, you blast out, you hit this thing with the frost beam, and you can see it look like you can see where on the part of the armor, part of the face, and part of the upper arm, almost like the early onset of kind of like frostbite, where you get like these ice crystals and things form across the armor as it yelps out in pain as you blast this, but it kind of pushes it back for a second until the spell dissipates, and yeah, it sort of snarls out and looks less than pleased with you.
Yeah.
Guys, you know earlier when I said I don't think I have anything that I can add to perception with all my racial traits and things. I could add
Yeah.
I could add a D6 to my perception check.
Damn it.
That's what I've just found.
Ron,
I'm a sentinel. I'm a sentinel human.
that was your action, Seisha. Is there anything you'd like to do with your bonus action or any movement?
Well, I guess I still have speed because of my half elven side and everything. I just want to move a little bit closer, about like just 30 feet closer.
Okay.
But that I don't have to use Misty Step, do I? I can just run up.
You can move up to 30 feet, yeah.
Yeah, I'll move up to 30 feet closer.
So as basically you hold your hand out, and as you're walking forward, it's just like a pressure washer of ice just hits this thing and staggers it back, and as it dissipates, you take up position in your new location.
Yep.
Rowan.
Hello.
Just gonna call you Rowan.
No,
Wait.
Neptis.
Oh yes, she's 19.
My apologies. You are 19. Why
Yeah.
have I?
No, I'm 9.
9, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
so it's-
17.
It's Rowan's 17.
Yeah, it's
Rowan's next.
Oh, wait, I thought you already had your pot. Oh, sorry,
No,
no.
no,
They tried to
sorry.
stab me.
Sorry,
They tried to
that was
stab me.
it. That was it. You were being stabbed.
Yeah.
No.
Level
Neptis.
10 is fun. We're all like science confusion.
Numbers. No.
The difficult part
So
about 10,
much math.
you level a character up, you get little bits added on. 10 is for the first session. It's a little you pick it up pretty quick. It's just the first session with level 10. But
I'm gonna rage.
I would like to rage.
Rain goes into
Rage!
action mode.
And the one in front of
Rain
me.
dance.
Rowan just starts dancing.
I'm gonna stab the one in front of me.
Okay, massive fuck off sword comes after 9. It's after
With
9.
my
Fuck off sword comes out.
sword.
It's like a joyous rage.
Would my spiritual weapon give Rowan advantage?
No, because as advantage is written, it needs to be a person or
For
a
the flanking rule.
being
Yeah.
threatening.
So I love my plus, so I get 26 to hit.
That's not even a natural 20, is it? That's like a 7.
No, no.
7.
That
Um,
wasn't that one.
3 on the dice.
Wow.
That's 3 to hit.
okay, so
Big chonko sword.
that is 10 damage
10
for
to
my
I.
first attack.
Oh yeah. Barbarian.
19.
Barb things.
19 will also hit.
Cool. Beautiful. That is 16 damage.
On top, is this total cumulative or is this?
No, what did I say first?
10. So
9.
26
10.
so far.
26 so far. Then I'll Fury.
And level
19.
barbarian are horrendous. Yep, that'll hit.
Well, let me just check the Fury. Oh no, sorry, Frenzy attack. I'm already Fury.
Frenzy's attack, yeah.
Yeah, and oh, beautiful. That's another 16. That's
Ah,
42.
42.
Amagaris is looking sad. She's getting beat in the damage stakes.
This massive fuck off sword. It's just wham, wham, and wham. Piss off. You absolutely. It's not dead, but it's not happy. Like you just plow into this thing with this sword. You just go into full blown foaming at the mouth, tiefling angry mode, and just
You trying at me, you're gonna get smacked
the rest
down.
of you've seen this a few times, but every time it happens, you're like, ugh, like.
I
Yikes.
want not dead but not happy on a t-shirt.
That's just me all the time, though.
Yeah.
Not dead, but not happy.
Not dead but not happy.
No, I better take off a rage.
Millennial mantra, isn't it?
Yeah,
Not dead, I'm just not happy.
just not happy.
Amagaris is looking put out as she saw the damage going on there. So,
What do you want to be when you're older? Dead.
It's just the nod of like, all right, it's on. We're doing this.
Hey, humanoid who is next to Omegaros. What is this guy going to do?
die.
He is not
Say
going
no.
to die.
Drops dead. Gives up. Begs.
Gives up.
All right.
Oh, I forgot. I've got +3 melee damage.
Swing.
Yeah, so it's 9.
Another 9, so that's 51 points of
Sweet.
damage.
The only time
Holy
I've ever
barbarian,
done
Batman.
the only time I've ever done that sort of damage, I was a level 3 rogue. Did a
And you
nat
crit
20
everything across
with sneak attack. It was ridiculous. It was like 60 damage or something.
I miss
Okay.
playing barbarians.
Okay, so the humanoid in front of you, they kind of look out to you, and their eyes kind of glow this almost aquamarine-ish, bluish white, and a third spot in their forehead glows similarly.
Ooh, you get a spare one. I've only got one.
They hold their hand, they open their mouth to you, and they speak a language you don't understand. Can you please make me a wisdom saving throw, Omegaros?
Right, I get advantage on this for some reason, I think. That's it.
Because why not?
Yep.
You have to be able to prove why. You can't just go, I get advantage.
I'll
I'm
be
having
telling you,
advantage.
it's
You know
fine.
what? I'm not telling you why. I'm just having advantage.
I get advantage because I say so. I get advantage. Is it because? Is it? You said wisdom saving throw, didn't you?
Wisdom saving throw, please. Yep.
Yep. Again, proficiency, not advantage. Sorry. I've got Iron Mind.
Ooh.
So yeah. Again, proficiency in wisdom saving throws.
Smarter than the average total there.
Yep. I think that's already added though, so that's fine.
What'd you get?
I got a 26.
Okay.
Like a trap.
This language kind of, you don't understand it, and you can feel it kind of the words that, or the noise that enters your head kind of doesn't have no bearing to you. You don't recognize it, doesn't seem to have an effect, and you can see a little bit of frustration strike the face of the human. However, they are going to you imagine playing one sorcerer, it's hard. Try playing lots.
I would like to put my finger to the lips and go.
As you do so, the image of the creature scatters into multiple versions of itself as it kind of shimmers, and replications of itself appear, and you can see it's like shifting, like almost fading in and out from each other, for a total of 3. Okay, Neptis. Oh no, sorry. It's it's the creature fighting Reaver, who's going to just disregard the heavy crossbow and pull out this wicked-looking blade and just basically try and jam it into you and try and stab you itself.
Have me a drink first.
Jesus. That is a 14 or a 10.
If it
You
meets your
are
armor
not
class.
wearing your armor.
No, I know, but I did cast Shield of Guard, whatever it is.
Holy
If it
shield or
meets-
something.
Shield of faith.
If it meets it, it meets it.
If it meets it, it beats it.
Mhm.
Then I would like to
Oh.
cast
Yeets it.
Shield as a reaction, please.
As your action, your AC goes up by 2 because narrative reason. You hold your hand out, and as
No.
you parry it with you parry the first one with your shield, and as the second one comes in, just this quick flash of light just parries it off to the side. I'm
Okay, I
assuming-
didn't realise it was +5.
yeah, you're higher level.
I'm 19 without armor on now.
When you've got full armor,
You're more than me.
shield, you are a wall of plate. Like nothing stops a cleric, a tank cleric.
Naked clerics are like you counted me.
Yeah, I've
Boobs
got my
of
shield. I cast
steel.
Shield Guardian Shield.
Night
I just cast
Drive,
actual
you're
shield.
tanking 20 odds. So what's the total AC now with the reaction?
So I've got my shield out, Guardian Shield, which makes me 14, +5 is 19.
Yeah, 19 will keep you safe from the second strike.
So if I have my plate on, I'll be 29.
that one
stuff.
turn
Beautiful.
reaction, and you only have that one reaction per turn. So your reaction is used up for this turn, but the creature looks very confused. It's like, what? Like, why did that not work? Like, what's going on? And not too sure of itself. Now, it's Neptis.
Cool. How far away am I from the guy that's trying to stab Reaver?
60 feet.
60 feet. Boo!
Sorry. No, 30 feet because I allowed the other two to cross it in a single action. So you would be 30 feet.
Regardless, either way, I'm gonna crossbow that bitch straight in the head. Please.
Okay, as the visibility fades and a shirt and underwear Neptis is just leveling across. Fires.
Hey, it works!
Does she
Look,
get
That is a 27 to hit, please.
does she get advantage because of being naked?
Hobgoblin.
I'm not
afraid.
naked. Nothing's out.
Nudity advantages.
She got her pajamas on.
It would.
Yeah,
no,
that-
I'm
that-
literally wearing shirt, pants.
A 29 will absolutely hit.
Fantastic. Well, it's 27.
That will also hit.
Fantastic. So then I'm gonna do my damage, which is 1d6 plus 4, which would then be 7, and then
And
I'm
you-
also gonna cast my sneak attack on that because it's a ranged weapon.
And Reaver's within 5 feet.
Mhm.
Yeah.
once my
Oh, we've got a barbarian and a rogue and a sorceress. Like the damn, like I won't be able to kill you two, and the other three will just detonate anything in the room.
so that's another 14 points, please.
14 points on the one that Reaver was fighting.
Yes, please.
That what's the total? 14 total.
No, so that would be 21, please. And then bonus action, I would like to Misty Step
You vanish into
next to Reaver,
cool, and you
so I'm
you
flanking.
use, like, a quick swirl of mist as Neptis appears next to you.
Stop doing
Re-
that.
The creature kind of it puts its hands to its chest as the sort of last 3 inches of a crossbow bolt just sticking out. It's like you can hear its breath is like heavy and kind of gargled, and it's not looking too healthy.
Good.
Good.
And I think I'm all right now. I think.
You
Yeah.
hear from the house next to you. You do hear there is a thud, and then you see a creature exit the house around 10-15 feet just to the side. And this scaly horror emerges into the street. It stands at maybe 4.5 feet high. Got big, googly kind of fish eyes bulging, and its head's kind of this enlarged, kind of misshapen head, and its mouth just hangs open with these kind of long, curved, like almost like needle-like teeth. And as it breathes in, it kind of shudders, and it's kind of this almost like gargling noise, like someone's gargling water as it breathes in and out. And its arms are kind of like almost like T-Rex arms, but they end in like these long curved claws. And this thing kind of steps out, and it's just this damp amphibian-looking creature. And 2 of them step out into the street, followed by a third, and the third one seems to be carrying a human, carrying the limp body of a man.
Oh.
And they kind of look over and kind of make this gurgling noise. And the human that is engaged with Omega Ross kind of just looks over to them. The eye is still kind of in this illuminated state. And one of them heads over to Omega Ross, and the other 2 start making their way out of the town. And they make a full 30 feet movement out towards the tree lines. The one that it comes over to say hello to Omega Ross, however, and this kind of squelchy, gargling noise comes out of its throat, and it tries to swing its claws at you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn it. It's a 2 and a 6. Even with pluses, that's not going to touch you, is it?
No, buffness.
And then it leaves, as it can't quite get across, and then it just kind of this big, misshapen, fishy head just opens, and it tries to take a bite into your arm.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. 13.
Misses.
Wait, 14.
Misses.
Okay. And it's just kind of, yeah, this almost like it's hard to describe, like almost like a briny kind of gone off rotten fish smell coming from this creature as it kind of the other 2 kind of waddle off down the hill. Amigros, it is you.
Cool. So I would like to cast silence.
Silence, I kill you.
On the human, but not encompassing any of my friends.
Okay.
So yes, that is my action.
Is to silence. I love the fact I have the internet. This before the internet would have been nails. Okay, you cast the ability,
It's gravy time.
the illusion spell. No sound can. Any creature or object entirely inside the sphere is immune to thunder damage, and you are deafened while you're inside. You cannot pick and choose who or what it affects. It's a 20-foot radius.
Yeah,
Anything within 20 foot of you all the way around.
Well, not quite in 20 foot of me, but off to one side. So it's got me in it, but it's got the human in it, but it hasn't got my friends in it.
Everyone else. Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine.
basically.
Like
Yeah.
you guys see this almost like shimmering, like almost like a shadow, if you like. It's almost like a blackish smog that kind of forms, and as you sort of hear the incantations, kind of the end of the voice is clipped off, and as you can hear the swords and stuff moving around, it's just this very odd silent movie as the nothing happens within that. You don't hear the sword swinging around.
Yep. So that is my action, which I gather I don't get an attack action because of that, even though I've got
No, you only get the bonus attack action if one of your actions was
an attack. That's fine. I would like to then use action surge.
Okay. Oh yeah, you take it. You're a multi-class, aren't you?
I am. So yep, I'm going to take action surge to get my action back, and then I'm going to pound this human in the face.
Use all the abilities up. Don't mind me.
I know it might be a bad idea, but I want to put these
It's
on
gravy time.
Yeah, so my fist attack I'm going to do against a human.
Okay.
We got raided, by the way.
Nice.
Nice.
Hi.
Hey.
It's gravy time.
Thank you, Bumblebee.
Thank you.
join us. We're halfway through our first part. We're in part 2 of part 1 of our one shot.
3-part one shot.
It's gravy time.
Part 1 of
It is D&D Drinking
part
Boots
two of
Friday
part
Night
one
Edition.
of-
Welcome.
Part 2.
Yeah, that's a miss. That's a 10.
It's gravy
Oh
time.
no, Nightbot's being mean.
And on your swing, unfortunately, as you swing across, this weird silent movie as a silent spell encompasses this area, and you guys just see him swing the sword, and the human brings the staff across and just
It's
stops
gravy
it. You guys are
time.
just in utter silence.
I would like to follow that up with a bonus attack.
Yep, you swing round and then spinning back fist on the other end.
22.
That does hit. So as he parries with the staff, you spin round and like full 360, just spinning back with the blade.
6. So that's 6 plus favored 4. 11 damage.
11 damage. Okay, you swing around and the blade bites into his upper arm, and you just see this kind of spray of crimson comes out just silently, and you can just this voiceless kind of cry of pain as blood starts to seep into the robes and starts to cascade down his arm.
And then I would like to use my last attack action to follow it up with another one. So that's attack, bonus, and then attack. Dual wielding. Yep. And that is a 26.
Okay.
Shit. That's 5 more damage.
1 second. To get the extra attack, you have to have attacked with your main action.
But it is a main action because it's action surge to get a main action.
So you cast silence, you use action surge to get your action back, which you use to do 2 attack actions, which then allow you to bonus attack with your bonus action.
Exactly.
Yep, crack on.
Yep. I can't remember how much I said for that. 5 extra damage.
5 points of damage. Okay.
Yep.
Once more, the quarterstaff kind of tries his best to parry it and swing around with it, but unfortunately, the blade doesn't find purchase, and you catch across, and you catch him up the side of the chest. It comes up across the side of the neck and partially through the side of his jaw, and you just silently kind of hear this. Well, you don't hear anything. You silently watch him kind of slink to his knees and just kind of clutching at their face, and then the eyes return back to kind of roll back, and the light fades. And it's just kind of this fraction of a second of just uncertainty and confusion as they slump into the floor and bleed out into the floor.
So he's... Oh. Is he dead? Can I see? I'd have to investigate that later, wouldn't I?
Throat's opened up. You've just stabbed him 7 times in 12 seconds. I don't know. Might be. You have to wait and see.
Yep, no worries.
Okay.
Yeah,
the creature that is currently doing its absolute best to murder Rowan is going to continue as such, and this sort of angry at the fact that you've hacked it to pieces and it's bleeding badly. You can see this kind of brackish, almost like bluish, it's like a grayish brown, almost like just seeping out of the wounds on the chest as its kind of scaly limbs swing this blade in your general direction That's a little bit better. We're looking at a 14 to hit or a 22.
22 hits, yep.
So first swing parries off of your fuck off giant sword. Second one's a little bit quicker. As you're returning it back up, he kind of finds a gap and manages to stab you with it.
Is that piercing damage?
It will be slashing damage.
That is fine also.
Even though,
it's
like,
a rage.
flavor text wise, he stabbed you, but it's the long sword. It's slashing.
Yeah.
I just threw my dice.
Doesn't count. Doesn't count.
Oh, that's not bad. That is 11 points of slashing damage.
So is that 5 or 6 then?
It rounds. Good question. Let's say
It
round
rounds up, I think. It rounds up. So that's
Does
6
now.
damage. And I cast Hellish Rebuke.
You do indeed.
Oh.
I forgot to get out a 3d10, so it's just going to be me rolling 3 times. That was a d10, right? So, Hellish Rebuke. 10.
As you mutter these kind of infernal,
15.
almost like a. It's not pain as much as anger, and as you this blade bites into you, and you just kind of lash out as just almost like a primal instinct of just rage just takes form as this fire erupts out from you and just kind of cascades over the creature. How much damage total?
22.
And as you kind of this white hot rage within you, and it just kind of clouds out your vision is just consumed by this almost embers and white hot heat that just emanates out. And Reva, you and Neptis kind of feel this kind of backdraft. You're like, Jesus. And as the embers subside, the creature is just on the floor, just this charred husk.
Nice.
Okay, so we are on to Seisha.
I haven't had my go yet.
It is Reva.
I was going to say, I thought I was after Omegaros.
So get ready.
So the one in front of me is still alive, correct?
Yes,
Yeah, and then this one that my spiritual weapon at has just burnt.
it has just burnt to a crisp.
Cool. So I am going to drop my concentration on my shield. So my AC is going to go down by 2. So I'm now at 17. And for my action, I'm going to cast, are the little weird lizardy things, the 2 that tried to run away with the body, within 120 feet of me?
They are, yes. They're about 45 feet from you.
Cool. I'm going to cast Call Lightning on the one that is carrying the body. Just
They're like, I think we got away.
no. So they need to make a Dex saving throw, DC 16.
They really do. They really. That's a 3rd level horrible lightning spell, isn't it? A Dex save. Oh God.
Oh, and I can move it. It lasts.
Right.
I can keep it up and just keep using it.
We're running at a strong +1 on Dex. Fishmen, they're not agile. Oh Jesus, that's a 2 and a 10.
Yes. Right. Okay. Each creature within 5 minutes. Each creature takes 3d10 lightning damage on a failed save. I'm going to use my Channel Divinity, which allows me to deal maximum damage if it's lightning or thunder. So they both take 30 lightning damage.
Just as a side note, they are carrying a body with them.
I know.
This thing is a 60-foot
They're not
wide,
now.
10-foot tall cone of lightning.
No, I direct it to choose a point you can see under the cloud. A bolt of lightning flashes down from the cloud at that point. Each creature within 5 feet of that point. So I'm going to do it like in between the 2 people
Yeah, so
walking.
you make a giant like dot. As you hold your hammer out, the clouds kind of coalesce, and this dark, sort of very supernatural cloud appears in the sky, and you see sparks arcing, and then the bolt just strikes down. You see this small eruption of sort of rock and debris. And you see just turf and things explode from the ground where this lightning bolt hits.
I think we got away, guys.
Oh,
So they
Omegaros,
both take 30 lightning damage, as I'm going to use my Channel Divinity to deal maximum.
So when you cast a spell, choose a point. A bolt of light flashes down, blah blah blah. 5 feet, they take Jesus. Yeah, they both like so
They take Jesus.
I will say, because it's a 5-foot AoE spell, if you zap the one not holding the body, it's just on him. If you zap the one holding the body, there is a potential, there is a risk of you zapping the body it's carrying as well. Should you wish to make that choice.
I already slapped the body. We don't need a dead one.
But I would like. I can heal the body. I would like them to.
Not if it's dead.
I mean, I'm hoping that
Oh wait, I can. No,
these
it's fine. Carry on.
don't last, don't die straight away, and I might have the opportunity to. Hang on, let me see what I think I've got healing word as a bonus action. Hang on.
What level are you casting this at, by the way?
Just third.
Just third.
Storm clerics are absolutely terrifying, man. Like later
I've
on,
really leaned into the Thor vibe.
I've got 4,900 AC, but you there
Try all the things.
Fuck that guy in the next town over, especially.
Yeah, fuck you.
Omegaros in his little dome is swearing at the top of her voice. but you
Cool.
can't
Right.
irritate.
Yes, I'm going to hit both of them. I'm going to hit the one that's carrying the body to get both of them.
Okay, so it will zap all 3 targets.
Yeah, for 30 points of lightning damage. And then, as a...
It's 3d10. You need to roll 3d10.
No, I'm using my Channel to Divinity to deal maximum, because I get to use a Channel to Divinity point to deal maximum if it's lightning or thunder damage.
Oh, sick!
So just as you guys
Savage.
see them disappear into a tree line.
I just want to say, because
rock,
in the chat, everyone's
dust.
going live. This is live, and
Yes.
she is going to
Yeah, it is
destroy them
live.
all.
Yeah, this
We're
is live.
actually here. And then as
I'm
my
Live
bonus
destroying
action,
everyone.
instead of because my
Our
spiritual
words are going
weapon
into the internet and then going into your ear holes.
my spiritual weapon does not take concentration, but the cool lightning does. So my
basically
spiritual weapon
your spiritual weapon vanishes, your storm cloud maintains its position, then every turn you can just repeatedly blast from the storm.
no, my spiritual weapon stays where it is. It doesn't take concentration.
Oh, fair enough. No, okay, crack on.
But my storm cloud does. So the storm cloud's going to stay, but I'm not, as my bonus action, I'm not going to attack with the spiritual weapon. I'm going to cast healing word on the body that I have the body of the human.
What's the range of your...
Healing word is 60 feet.
Okay. So this lightning blast, the 2 creatures are blasted off their feet for a second. The body tumbles out of their hand, and
Yeah.
they start scrambling back to try and pick it back up again.
They're not dead? What? I wasn't prepared for this. Okay.
Level 10, like things have more than 6 HP. You're not fighting goblins anymore.
More than 30? I really thought I was going to do it. Okay, scratch that then. Where's my spiritual weapon? What's the range on that?
You can move it. I don't think it's very far. You can move it. It will say
30 feet.
20
yeah?
feet. 20.
20 feet, okay.
you can cast it up to 30 feet away from you, but it only moves 20 feet.
Yeah. Okay.
I will point out there is still... That's a point, actually. You don't make a spell hit, do you? You don't have to roll to... No, it's just a failed save. That's fine. I'm going to say a spell hit, you'd be disadvantaged because you've still got a hobgoblin trying to stab you in the head.
I'm a warcaster.
Do not.
Okay, I'm still going to cast healing word just to make sure he doesn't die. As my
You-
bonus action.
You let your deity empowers the healing energy of lightning.
It's like paddles.
It's like a
Decent.
yeah. The healing spell doesn't seem to take effect.
Oh shit, I'm dead!
Just getting ready to roll.
As the spell goes off, so mark it off as a cast spell, your healing energy kind of throws through this. It's almost like a electrical charge, almost like a beam of mist that kind of flows around and envelops. But the spell disperses. There doesn't appear to be any energy that disperses into the body.
Just a
Okay.
charred corpse.
Hey guys, come help our village and save our people. Woo!
And again, you thought I would be the one.
I put money on Hannah actually.
No, Hannah
Omegaros.
was saying I'd be the issue.
Yeah, Omegaros is
so
looking at
Rita-
Ruane going,
Is there anything
We
else?
just wanted to get drunk. We just wanted a drink.
No, that's me. I've used my reaction, action, and bonus action for this turn.
Asia, you are up.
Sweet Jesus, wait. So our guy is dead? Like our good guy?
You have no idea. You just see Reaver, storms, clouds, lightning hits, mini explosion, two fish
just
men blasted to the
Standing
side.
like
one
40, 50
tumbles
feet away,
floor.
like
There's another weird fish bitey creature trying to gnaw on Omegaros, and there is still a very, very battered up looking hobgoblin trying its best to stab Reaver in the face.
Ignored it completely.
Nobody's like on their own with nobody around them in a 20 feet radius, right?
Oh, bad
Enemies,
guys?
no.
Damn. Well then, I have spared you all from getting burnt. I will cast a fire bolt.
You do have your careful meta, don't you?
I don't think I do. One
What are the three?
second.
You took three, like
Meta
your
magics.
battle master. You have your three maneuvers. You'll have your meta magics, which allow you to spend your sorcerer
Yeah.
points. To
So
do
I have. Oh, I do have careful spell. Oh, you're right. There we go. I thought I picked something else that's more
I'll
like
point it out,
just
careful
stab all the
spell.
things.
I don't think, mate. I think you take half damage on a failed save. I don't.
No, you can spend one sorcery point to allow up to 4 creatures to automatically succeed on the saving throw of a spell you cast. That's it.
Certain spells, most AoE spells, you'll take less
We'll take
damage
half.
on a save,
Okay.
not no damage on a save.
It's just saying that they succeed. So if
Yeah,
they
so
fail it,
even
they'll just take half.
Yeah. No, if they succeed, they take half.
Okay.
If we automatically succeed,
You
so we'll
can just
automatically
make
take
it-
half.
You can just make it
Okay.
so they flat out.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that next time. Never mind. I'm just gonna do the fire bolt, which has a pretty decent amount of
Is it higher level? So
Yeah, I'll roll with the app because it just.
the one hand, like the hand's still got that kind of cold tingle from where you fired off the ray of frost, and then it just goes from really cold. It's a really odd sensation. It goes from cold to hot. Almost like just
Cold, fire.
a dial on a shower, like from one end to the other. It's like nice lukewarm in the middle, then it gets really hot again. And just
This is like her personality when she's really hungry. It's perfectly fine. She's used to this. So she's going to. That's 22 to hit.
22. Which are you firing at? Sorry.
The last creature that was next to with the human of the two that's left over, the one that's kind of decrepit, right?
Yeah, you fire it across 2d10 worth of damage. It does hit.
Question: can I actually reach him 120 feet?
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah. So 22, and I will do 2d10.
So which one are you
Sorry,
shooting at? The one fighting Omegaros or the one that just got lightning bolted on the hill?
The one that got like molded on the hill.
Sure.
Just finish him off.
What's the damage?
12.
Okay.
I don't think I have anything else to add on to that from what I know.
No.
And that's it, right?
So firebolt goes off, it slams into this creature, and you can see like this scorch marks, and it's kind of, you see like blackened, kind of the scales turn up and some have popped off in places, and it just kind of starts scrambling to pick up the human on the floor. Anything else you'd like to do? Move, bonus action?
Yeah, if I move myself across from anybody, is it like my fighter thing that I have like advantage on a creature?
Do, but not with range spells. So
Yeah, but
trying to
it's
stab it, yes. If you're trying to cast spells, no.
no. So I do have my other weapons as well. Actually, crossbow's too close quartered, but I do have
Also
stabby
wouldn't be able
things.
to attack with a bonus action.
Huh?
You wouldn't be able to attack with a bonus action. What you could
Okay.
do is use one of your sorcerer points to use quicken spell, and you can cast a spell as a bonus action. So you
I could do that
fire-
right now. Cast a spell as a bonus action.
You could use quicken spell, use up a sorcerer point to cast another firebolt or another spell.
Yeah. Okay, so this creature's still alive, right?
It's not looking too happy with itself because you just blasted it, but you are able to. Yeah, you could fire again.
Well, I'm gonna do that, so I'll use one of my spell
Reload.
slots, right?
Sure.
Okay, so I'll confirm that one spell slot first. I
So
don't
just-
forget firebolt again.
Make a note that you've cast
Yeah, I already did. It has like automatically on the website. Okay, so 26 to hit.
26 will hit. Yep.
Yep. And damage is 9.
Just
Okay.
need to note down you used a sorcerer point, I think he was trying to say.
Yeah,
Not to use a sorcerer point?
No,
that
note
you
down that
have.
you've used one. Get rid of one.
I did get rid of one. Yeah, I did.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what the
yep,
first thing
you
I did to
blasted
remember
it.
it. Yeah.
And as these two are kind of trying to pick this creature up, this first firebolt blasts off of it, and as it kind of looks over, the next one just hits, and you just see this, like almost like a chart, like a crater in the chest cavity where there's just this blackened chart just falls onto its black, and you can see like this grey acrid kind of smoke rising off the body. The other one kind of looks over and just doubles its effort to try and pick the remains up. Okay. Firebally goodness. It is the creature trying to stab Rowan. Reba.
That
I
creature
killed
died.
it. I killed it. I burnt it.
The other one.
The one trying to stab Reva.
Reba, sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I burnt mine.
The creature kind of looks around.
He disintegrated it.
It sees like this is definitely, it tries to make a full extended run away. So it's going to try and break and flee. But that does mean attack of opportunity from Neptis and Reva.
Yeah, I can do it.
You've used your reaction on shield, so you do not get attack of opportunity. Neptis,
The new round, isn't it?
Yes,
It's not her new round though.
No, it's not.
It's a new round.
It is a new round.
This new round is of combat because I used shield on the last time it tried to attack me, and it's its turn again.
Yeah, you've both got
Okay.
attack of opportunity.
I get to use a spell because I'm a warcaster. Is that okay?
You-
Nice.
Is it Sexit running past me?
It's not.
Or me.
Oh.
Suck it. Sacred Flame.
Roll tip. Neptis, roll tip.
The DC 16 save.
I'm doing.
Save.
Dex, yeah.
Fails.
Takes 16
Ouch.
radiant. Yeah, 16 radiant.
Is that a
Do I need
cantrip?
to attack?
Yeah.
I
Sacred
do.
Flames.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna do two-handed. So I'm gonna go with my rapier +1 in my main hand, dagger in my offhand. So rapier hits at a 28.
It's just a single attack.
Nice.
Huh?
It's an attack
Single
of
attack.
opportunity, so it's just a single attack.
Fair. So
Yep.
rapier +1, so that's a 28 to hit. With 9 points of slashing damage. Can I use? No, I can't.
As you thrust with the rapier, as this kind of swirling storm tempest, just kind of, you see parts of it, it's like where these sparks are hitting the scales and the sort of fabric covering it, they do ignite almost over. And as you thrust through, you're not quite sure which one was the point of no return, whether it was you stabbing it or igniting into flame, but one of it killed it. And you kind of just stab in as it just like ignites and just falls to the floor, and you pull the blade out and it just kind of lifts an arm up briefly and then just slumps back into the ground.
Suck it.
Nice.
Look at Neptus and nod.
It is your go. You have a creature trying to eat Oberos and one trying to pick up the human remains and run away. What would you like to do?
Whose go is it?
Neptus.
Neptis.
Oh, I'm gonna go at the guy with the remains, please.
Okay, what are you doing?
How far is it away? How far away are they?
They made a full round, about from you, about 45 feet.
Misty Step as bonus action, please.
Sure. I'm guessing over to the creature.
Yes, please.
Yep.
Then I'm gonna use the rest of the 15. I'm gonna use them 15 feet of my actual movement to get to him. As to which, then I'm gonna go double-handed with rapier in main hand,
roll to hit.
dagger in offhand.
While you're
rapier.
doing that, roll to hit.
22 for rapier,
Hits.
and my dagger is.
Won't be able to do offhand because that's a bonus, isn't it?
27.
27 hits as well.
Is the bonus is a bonus fighting with offhand?
Yes, of course, because the bonus action is
Your offhand weapon.
fighting, so I wouldn't be able to do that. Okay, so scratch that. I'm just going to go with the rapier of 22 to hit.
Cool.
My
Good spot,
damage
thank
on
you, bud.
that is a 7 points of slashing damage. Add my sneak attack because it's a finesse weapon. So that's 18. So that is 30 points of slashing damage, please.
You're an assassin.
Nice.
Huh?
Where'd you get the sneak attack from?
Yeah, we get sneak attack.
Sneak attack from my finesse weapon of my rapier.
You have
to.
Yeah, you have to still have advantage or have someone opposite. So sneak attack works off of. You get
Oh, sorry, that's the thing that I always forget. I do apologize.
Yeah, so sneak attack, you have to have advantage on the attack roll, and it has to have a finesse or a ranged weapon. just being a finesse weapon on its own.
I forgot that bit. I do apologize.
The only time you don't have advantage, the only time it works without advantage is if someone else is within 5 feet of them.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh.
I remember now.
Right.
So regardless, that is 12 points of slashing damage, please.
12. Yep, you stab it.
Step.
It starts bleed like this, almost like tar, like blackish, like almost ichor just starts like seeping out of the chest cavity when it's just kind of this gargled, like language you don't understand. It just starts snapping its jaws towards you.
Have you got another attack action?
No, she misty stepped and attacked.
That's bonus action.
Yeah, do you have it?
Rogues don't get second attacks.
They're not. Okay.
So, the two creatures at this point will both try and make full retreats. The one away from Orboros, and the one away from Neptis.
Does that go past me?
No,
Okay.
I'm afraid not. Neptis, you've already used your reaction, haven't you? Yes, you did.
Yeah.
This for attack opportunity. So the creature basically.
Hang on, I haven't had a go this turn.
Yeah, that's true.
This
I'm
is true.
before Neptis.
Yes, it is your turn then.
Okay, I'm gonna go over to the one by Oma and stab it.
Go for it. Roll to hit.
With advantage.
Oh, well, I don't think I need it, but we'll try. No. So that is 24.
Definitely hits.
So that is 11 points of damage.
Okay.
First hit. Second one. Is that also with advantage, my second one?
Yeah. If you flank in again with Overrush, you get advantage on all of them.
Beautiful. That is 29, but that's a holy.
Yes.
That's crit.
Jesus.
So that is.
You can just give me total damage. That'd be fantastic.
Do I double or just use max?
Double
Double dice.
Okay, so that's 20 points of damage. And then frenzy,
Yep.
that is 18.
Yep.
That is 14 points of
Like-
damage.
What's the total points of damage?
11 plus 14 plus 20.
Yeah,
So
that
34,
is
45.
45.
Damn.
So at this stage, for the sake of brevity, they're both kind of bleeding badly. They're scrambling around. They do try and flee, but due to how injured and how uncoordinated they seem to be, without any of the creatures around them, it doesn't take you long to kind of round up those last two. Neptis is around one, Omega Ross, you're around the other. They both only have a couple of hit points left, and you managed to dispatch them without too many problems. And your rage subsides, Rowan, and everyone
I'm
else.
sleepy now.
Take a minute. You're breathing heavy. Neptis is still out in sort of t-shirt and pants out, and Reva, you're still there in like sort of night wear with your shield.
Pajamas and shield.
And yeah, so
I haven't even broken a sweat. I'm just like,
has to do. The night kind of breeze comes through, and it just takes a minute, and you kind of contemplate what happened. And you, Neptis, you kind of look over and see the fairly charred remains of what appears to be the body that was being dragged out of the building. And that is where we will wrap up this evening. So thank you very much, firstly, to the chat. Thank you for those who've joined in this evening for
Thank you for the raid.
part one of Drowned Caverns of the Fish God. This is a one-shot board. It's going to be a three-parter that is taking place every
gravy
fortnight on a
time.
Friday at 8. 8 till 11 on Heavyweight Gaming.
Ish.
On the intermediate Friday, so on the in-between Fridays, you can join me with the majority of the people here, where we continue our longer-term campaign, Secrets Worth Dying For, which is set, which is following the Wizard of the Coast book, Rime of the Frost Maiden, Icewind Dale, where we are on episode 11. So if you're interested in seeing what we get up to, a little bit of a lower level party, but it's a longer-term campaign, that is available next Friday or you can tune back in a fortnight's time to see where this lovely bunch of murder hobos get up to. We've got Pathfinder tomorrow. So if you're interested in the wonderful world of Pathfinder, we have the Pathfinder game happening tomorrow and a smorgasbord of games happening throughout the week. Sci-fi, fantasy, cyberpunk. We've got all sorts going on. Me and Lauren in the cyberpunk game on Thursday as characters, and you'll see everyone else kind of sprinkled amongst stuff. So please, if you haven't already, give us a follow. Please, if you have Twitch Prime or if you have Amazon Prime, you can link it to your Twitch account for free, and you can subscribe to your favorite content creator. It costs absolutely nothing, and it massively helps out either ourselves or other content creators that you want to follow and support. Thank you very much for your comments in chat. And yeah, if you like what you see, give us a follow, give us a subscribe. If you missed anything or you want to check out and the other episodes of either Rime of the Frost Maiden, or if you miss the first half of this, you can find us on YouTube, Heavyweight Gaming, and all the other social media bits and pieces. So whichever platform you're on, give us a like, give us a follow. It really helps out. Hope you've enjoyed what you see. And yeah, we'll see you next time. So thank you very much, players. Getting grips to your newfound level 10 powers. Yeah, I'll see what the consequences of actions are in a fortnight. You've got plenty of time to think about your decisions, Reva.
I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
His
Thank you
bite
very
a flesh
good.
wound.
Me and Naomi
Neptis
were
slapped him. I'm
good.
pretty sure he was dead after Neptis slapped him.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
So, thank you very much. We'll see you all next time. So say bye-bye, players.
Bye, players.
Bye, players.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
We'll disappear at some point, I promise. I'm not quite sure when.
I'm hoping, yeah.
It's when AD comes